Hello, everyone. Good to see y'all tonight on a Wednesday night on the East Coast at 7:21 p.m. Thank you for your patience. We had to work out some logistical issues tonight and some things, but it is going to be worth it. The patience. Thank you for your patience. We got through. We worked with everything, and we are live and we are running. So thank you all. We'll tell you a little bit more about some of the tech issues, but listen, it's well worth it because I tell you what, we're hoping to add a new segment. Hold on.
Ask people if they see your avatar.
Oh, they do because I'm the scary creep
On
guy.
mine, I don't see it.
Oh no. All right. Hey, I got the tech issues tonight. Let's see. So let's try this. There and no, it's not. It's YouTube.
Okay, well
Because it's
then.
showing on Twitch. Hey, there it is. All right.
Okay,
Hey,
I just wanted to thumbs up. Sorry. Bye.
IT tech support at its best just came into the rescue and it helped us backstage completely. So, folks, thank you for being here tonight. And as I was going to say, I hope this is the start of a great series coming up. We're doing something definitely different. We do some movie reviews, but this will be a little bit different. This is going to be looking at some movies we like over the, looking back type of thing with a friend and just casually talking about some movies over time that we like and things like that. But I tell you, this is going to be a great guest, folks. This guest is going to be well worth the wait. It's such a wonderful, delightful person to be around. Very learned, very smart, and loves movies. Has a great sense of humor, and has been really a great supporter of our channel with her son. Both supporting my kid Ang and me as we get kicked off, tweeting, putting stuff out, and rating and doing all kinds of stuff like that. But listen, I hope you enjoy this feature tonight, and we're going to start with a great movie tonight, The Terminator. Well, the first three. We stop after that. But hey, without further ado, let me invite in and introduce you to the great, the classy, the wonderful, delightful Daisy Blossom Flower Child. Hey, Daisy.
Hello. How are you, everyone in chat?
Hey, well, good. I mean, hey, I am so happy to have you here tonight. It's awesome.
Well, thank you. And your intro was way too gracious. Like, way too gracious.
Oh,
But thank you.
well, you're welcome. And I meant every word of it because, you are delightful. And do thank you and Liam for the support you've given all of us around here. And, it's so appreciated and so, you know, just heartfelt. And, it's like we're friends here. We're going to be friends hanging out, talking about some movies. How's that sound?
Sounds good to me.
All right. Well, hey, before we get going too far into things, let's say hi to some of the people in the chat. And again, folks, thank you for your patience here. And it's going to be well worth it tonight. We got it. We got it. There have been some logistical challenges which have had both of us learning on the fly tonight. Wouldn't you say, Daisy?
Yes.
Yes. But
we had to use our brain power and then backup from tech support. Mrs. to the rescue.
Exactly. And Discord. We even had to use Discord. So hey,
that is correct.
Go. Well, let's say hello to my friend Ademi Alagon. We just call him Yemi. He said, hey, have fun with those taxes out there. we got the great Castle who says, howdy, y'all. We appreciate it. And the Castle also later, tech issues happen. I'll be lurking. Well, thank you. I know Castle's in school doing a lot of schoolwork now and probably doing homework. So, hey, good luck with all of it. And hell back to you, O.C. Dobbins. Good to see you here. Good to see you here tonight with us again. And, of course, the wonderful Mrs. Dadman Walking 55. Yes. Tech support, IT, wife, mother, one indispensable human being to have around. So,
definitely.
Yes. And I tell you what, don't forget, we are tonight on Twitch and we are on YouTube both. So you can catch us from either side there. And there's Jemmy lurking in taxes. Good combo. Absolutely. You need something to distract you when you go live, when you try to do all those taxes. Usually, uh, you
We
know,
try to bring some smiles while you're doing taxes.
oh, but what's great is that what is great is that with YouTube and Twitch and a lot of these streams is when you can actually just hang out. Yeah, I don't know about you, but I like white noise. I like to have something in the background, especially when I'm in a hotel room. But are you one that likes background noise, or does it distract you?
It really depends on what it is I'm doing. Um, some things, yes, I like to have some music or sometimes I'll play the sound of rain on my phone
Hmm.
in the background. And
Hmm.
sometimes I need complete quiet if I'm trying to really concentrate on something complex.
Yeah,
So it depends.
absolutely. It always depends. It's really bad because see, I love white noise. I like having, even when I'm at work. I can't listen to music, but I can hear people talk and I'm fine. But
Mm,
there are times that it's bad when I turn the YouTube or whatever off, because it's like, I'm serious then when I'm like, if I got to think, there are times for that. So
yes. Yes.
so, so I'm tweeting as I'm typing and talking. So as people that follow me on Fortnite streams know, I struggle big time with this. I do trying to do both at once. So
No worries.
absolutely.
Multitasking. We all
I,
have to get really good at multitasking
well,
because
yeah. Go ahead.
technology is Skynet might be just around the corner. Wink, wink,
Yes,
nudge, nudge.
yes, yes. I know. You never know. You never know. Uh, Castle says, Mrs. Dadman wears infinite hats. Yes, yes,
Yes,
she
yes.
does.
See,
Absolutely.
I will apologize to chat. Usually, my son Liam, known as Liam
Hmm.
Grey Wolf on Twitch, he handles all of these kinds of things. And since I'm actually not at home, I'm somewhere else now, I didn't bring all my streaming stuff. So we really needed Mrs. Dadman to walk us through how to do it.
Exactly.
I appreciate all of the
Yeah,
help.
absolutely. I do too. I can't live without it. So, and like she says, I can't afford her, even in Amazon.
Well, that's true. Probably not.
No,
I mean,
exactly.
other than the streaming, we wives and moms, we do all kinds of things, wear all kinds of hats.
Hmm. Absolutely. You have to.
But
It's like she's told me before, it's like I give birth so she can handle anything.
this is true. Yes, absolutely.
Oh, that's too funny. Only, yeah, it's so
Yeah.
funny when you look at that. I just, I laugh
Well,
I admire you ladies.
when you go to a doctor's office because something hurts, they ask on a scale of 1 to 10, and I'm going, well, you mean 10 being having given birth? And it's usually a male doctor, and they kind of look at me and start giggling. Well, it's not as painful as that.
No,
If it's that painful, we're in trouble.
exactly. I was like, well, I'll say that's one pain I'm glad I'll never have to experience. So,
My husband, Mr. Daisy Blossom, would agree with you completely.
mm-hmm. Hey, y'all can have that one. Y'all, it's all good.
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely. So, hey, we got 7 people still with us now. We've had some come in and out, but hey, listen, if you're over on our Twitch side, make sure you follow us over there. We're at 74 followers. Let's get to 75 tonight. That'd be cool. We hit 180 last night on the YouTube side, so hey, only 20 more to 200. So if you're new on the YouTube side, make subscribe to the channel. Let's keep growing, and if you're lurking, whatever, make sure you smash that like button on the YouTube side. So, or as Castle says, melee that like button if you haven't, please. Yes. And the missus also thank you for putting out the Twitch link to the people on YouTube also. And
Thank you.
yes, absolutely. So great content with you and Liam. How, if you don't mind me, how long have you and Liam been streaming together?
You know, that is an excellent question. I believe it's been a year and a half, possibly approaching 2 years.
Hmm.
Initially, it was just Liam, and I was the moderator
Mm-hmm.
and in chat. And
Mm-hmm.
then he asked me to be his co host, mostly because it's difficult as a
Mm-hmm.
streamer to just keep talking to
Yeah.
yourself. So, so yeah.
I'll be honest. I'll be honest with this. My Fortnite streams, I find myself when I'm playing solo, I get quiet at times, and I hate that type of silence.
Mm-hmm.
But the missus is better than me. It's like
We,
I told her, it's like I gotta have you. So it's because she knows how to. Her and Aang, they can gab away, they can chatter and all so naturally, and So I
I don't
ramble or
know if it's
say
a
awesome.
female thing. It might be a female thing because I'm pretty good at rambling as well.
That's all good. Oh, that is so awesome. So, oh man,
He would do so, to your defense,
mm-hmm,
that's exactly what Liam would do. He'd be so into the game that he wasn't speaking. And
mm-hmm,
I realize there are a lot of gamers on Twitch who do that. They just play the game, they don't speak very much. It's kind of more engaging if someone is talking. So,
mm-hmm.
yep.
Without a doubt. Yeah, without a doubt. I mean, it's you know, because then also, especially when you do certain games like Fortnite, I don't know how it is on the the Twitch side that much because I've been streaming mostly on the YouTube side, but there are a lot of bots that come through, a lot of people, and so you have a lot more timeouts, mod actions that you need to do on the the YouTube side than what I've done on Twitch. And speaking of mods, hello to the great Balzette. Hey Balzette, good to see you tonight. Great to see you. Yeah. Yeah, and Balzette
Yes,
says
yes,
that the same way when I
yes.
focus on a game, it's like I go deaf.
Mm-hmm.
Shh, don't say that. That's you're gonna take away my excuse for the misses. So, but hey, but that's awesome. So Daisy, what I wanted, I know y'all really hang out mostly on the Twitch side. The streaming's on the Twitch side. So there may be people that are not as familiar with you on the YouTube side. I know you've been in our chats a little bit with the YouTube stuff. And let me say real quick, hello, Zoltan. Good to see you again these days, dude. Hope everything's good down where you are, and welcome. But for the people that don't know about you, is what have tell us a little bit about yourself, your hobbies, or and we can focus it on movies like we were talking. What type of movies do you like? What do you like with movies?
So, my genres would be I love science fiction. I grew up watching the original Star Trek, got into Star Wars. Um, my husband and I giggle. We will watch incredibly bad sci fi and then
Mm-hmm.
laugh at it at home. So I'm really into all things sci fi. Then other types of movies in a genre, like action movies.
Mm-hmm.
So happen to like Liam Neeson, even though he plays the same character in every movie. I
Yes.
mean, he just plays himself, and that's cool. I also like superhero movies,
Mm-hmm.
um, although maybe not so much currently,
Mm-hmm.
but that kind of movie. I'm not okay. I'm not. Let me see. What words am I allowed to use on YouTube? Um,
Hey,
ro-
if you watch one of our
ro-
Fortnite streams, it
okay.
doesn't matter for me.
Okay. Well, I am a female, so I think I'm allowed to say I don't normally like chick flicks.
Ah,
I'm not into the romantic comedy type things. Not my style.
mm-hmm. Well, that's interesting. Do you like the stupid, idiotic movies like Naked Gun, Police Squad, those type of slapstick comedy type things.
Not usually.
Uh,
But I suppose Monty Python, some of what their sketches are might qualify as that.
uh,
But not so much the Dumb and Dumber style of movies, not my thing.
yeah. Well, I'm talking. See,
Oh,
some insulting comedy is kind of stupid, but like the plea. Are you familiar with the Naked Gun, like with Leslie Nielsen, where it's all like play on words? Surely can't be airplane.
oh,
Those
okay.
type. Yeah.
Yes. That's cute. Yes.
Yes. I mean, that's the type of comedy I'm talking about. Like that, and Naked Gun is like airplane. Those type of
A-
things. So
Airplane. The
yes,
Airplane series was hysterical.
yes. And going back
Yes.
to what you said about Monty Python. What about Monty Python and Holy Grail? Tis but a flesh wound.
And yes, definitely.
You have no bloody legs. It's like,
Yes, I he's kind of trying to bounce towards
your,
him.
your mother was a hamster and your father smelled of elderberries. Oh,
Oh yes.
and the
Oh
missus is
yes.
spam a lot out there.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, Bowsette, Pink
Yeah.
Panther, Naked Gun, Police Academy. Oh, Police Academy. That is a good
Oh,
set of movies I have not seen in a long time.
Pink Panther.
Wow.
With Peter Sellers.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes. All
Yes.
about that. Oh, I'm sorry.
Wow.
I was answering someone.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. You said, oh, Yemi, I think you said the
Yeah,
name is.
Yemi loves
So Yemi
airplane and
gives
Monty
you a little
Python.
hug. Sorry about that.
Oh, no problem.
Bowsette said Pink Panther, Naked Gun,
Mhm.
Police Academy. I really like Pink Panther.
Yes. See, and I'm more the Police Academy type guy, but I've not watched Pink Panther, but you never know. I might take it up because the missus
Well,
has class, so
I
she
liked the
likes
older
that.
ones.
Hmm.
They have I forget who the new Peter Sellers, of course, hasn't done the modern ones. Chat will know because Chat is always intelligent. So they'll be able to tell us. But I watched the older ones. I think that started in like the 70s. If I don't know. I'm
The
old.
Pink Panther movies.
Yes.
Yes, I believe that
Oh
they
yeah.
were. Yeah. Peter Smith. Oh, but see, the missus said the Steve Martin Pink Panthers are awful.
Yes, he's
Yeah.
the new Inspector Clouseau. I don't speak French,
Yes.
so I apologize.
And Balzette says the old Pink Panther's great. The new ones are hilarious. So, hey, that's awesome. Like we have, we're going to have various tastes and opinions on things between, everybody in the chat. Feel free to say what you like and what you want to do. Nobody's here judging. We're having fun because
Oh yeah, no
because
judgment.
Daisy and I think may disagree on something really big tonight already, but that's just a tease
Probably.
for later. So, and she's such a nice, sweet lady, but I'm waiting for the to come out but we'll have fun and laughs, won't we, Daisy?
Yes, and we're going to agree to disagree because that's what adults do.
Absolutely. I was shooting. This is one. Nee.
The Knights of Neat and the Holy Hand Grenade.
The Brother Minard, bring forth the Holy Hand Grenade of Antioch.
Yes.
Oh God.
I like the the thing with the rabbit. It's a dangerous rabbit with the sharp, pointy teeth.
Yes.
Yeah,
I
in
tried
the
to warn
cave,
you.
and then they all die because the rabbit kills them.
Oh God.
Yes.
Yes, that's hilarious. Yes. Oh man. See, we've
Oh,
already.
Mrs. No adults pout. Take their
toys and go home. LOL. Oh, that's too funny. So, man, we've already got. Thank you, everybody on the chat, for starting just on your own, throwing stuff out there. It's good that it helps us see what y'all like, what we're talking about with these, and we got a lot of the comedy people and a lot of and they're good because we can have a lot of fun with comedy, sci-fi, some of the other shows, the other types of genres that are out there. I've actually started watching newer things in the last year or two with the missus. not that this is what we're going to be going into, but like K dramas, the Korean
I've
Asian
heard
shows,
about them.
they
Yeah.
are actually pretty addictive. I
Wow.
get into them when she's like, I say, can we watch something together, spend some time together? She said, yeah, but I'm picking. Okay, so she, honestly, they have better plots than most of the American shows and series and
That's what I've
stuff.
heard.
Yeah,
Do you
B
watch them
movies of all
on
genres.
Netflix or?
Vicky Rasputin. I want to call it Vicky Rasputin, but it's not. I mixed it with the Russian guy, but there's a service that you can pay for and get access to shows like that.
Oh, okay. Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
it's awesome.
We
So
I'll have to write that down after chat. I've misplaced my pen right now.
yeah, absolutely. So we'll have a lot of fun with you know that and
We can always talk Godzilla,
oh yes, Godzilla could be a good
who's
show series.
who's actually Gojira.
Mm,
Well,
yes,
in Japanese.
nah. Well, and then of course you had the black and white Godzillas, the old, and then you had the
Oh
newer
yeah.
ones. Well,
Mm-hmm.
well, my honest opinion, the last few have been kind of, it's bad when you want the Godzilla to destroy the humans.
That is correct. Too much human, not enough Godzilla.
Yes.
Definitely not enough Mothra.
Okay, there you go. The K drum, Norbit. Yeah, I remember Norbit and Major Pain. I believe came out when we were dating before we got married, and is that or the first year we got married, and we loved that movie. That was so. Yeah, and this is what Mrs. said. She pays for Vicky Rakuten. I kept calling it Rasputin, and I don't know what that other one is.
Oh, thank you, Mrs.
Yes,
Screenshot now.
Gojira, the French metal band. Yemi, how do you know about French metal?
Yes, I would like to know.
Why is an accountant doing taxes know anything about a French metal band? Oh, that's so funny.
I like metal. I'll have to look them up. Are they on YouTube Music?
You like metal?
I like it. My favorites is okay. I do everything from classical. I will listen to class. It depends on how I feel. So I will listen to classical. I will listen to rock music. I will listen to old pop music, not the new disco if I'm into that. And yeah, I listen to metal.
Mm-hmm. Wow, I'm just like, I just picture this nice lady that is
Sweet
classical
little
and
old
quiet.
lady with
Yeah, and
gray
it's just
hair.
like, oh, hilarious. So, and Castle didn't know there was French metal. All right, hey, I, yeah, they're so funny. Hey, Castle actually came out of homework to chime in. That's awesome. But wow, thanks for learning, Daisy. That's awesome, and I love the types of movies. Sounds like we're gonna have some fun with these movies and stuff like that.
Yes.
Absolutely. But yeah, I just love everything that's there. It's just the genres you've mentioned. I do like the monster movies too. They,
Yeah, you pick a set of movies, or like in this case, there was more than one.
yes.
But we could talk just about one if you want. Let me know, and I'll
Yeah,
watch it again.
absolutely.
Because you watch so much media, you sometimes you forget some of it.
Absolutely. I actually, with what we'll get into the others in just a second, I ended up taking notes, but it was funny. I took more notes on some than others. It was hilarious. So to see,
Well,
but
I did take notes on the first one. I meant to take notes on the second one, but I was watching part of it on an airplane on my phone. And it was like, I can't take notes on an airplane.
Yeah.
So we hit turbulence. So the notes would really not have been readable anyway. So.
You'd be like the lady putting makeup on in airplane in the bathroom with it all over yourself.
Yep,
Country rap.
Exactly what it would look like.
Country rap, like Big Smo's okay, but close I would get to. You listen to country rap because you don't like country. I got you there.
See,
that's another thing. If we started talking,
I don't like country music, but there are a few.
But country depends though.
Yes.
You know,
Yes, it does.
are you talking like the old 70s, 80s, like George Jones, Tammy Wynette, or the modern country type music?
Um,
They're different, you know.
Let me think. No, my dad really liked, I'm trying to think of the gentleman's name. He wore all black and he sang the song A Boy Named Sue or A
Johnny
Man Named
Cash.
Sue. Johnny Cash. Love Johnny
Yeah,
Cash. Don't know if that's considered country
it's
western or
country.
not.
Yeah, he's country.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, really like him. And then individual songs, not
Mm.
like an artist, and I like all of theirs. You put enough out there, like country and western is a huge thing to choose from. So yeah, I'm
Mhm.
gonna find some things that that I like, even though it's not a genre I'm particularly into.
Well, Yemi
I'm
is
not really
just
into rap music,
yeah,
but when it
yeah,
first came out, there was a style called hip hop. I believe it
right.
was the 80s or early 90s. I liked some of that.
Hmm. Well, Yemi is saying we may have found another topic for us too, so that's quite
Oh, we
funny.
could go into music.
Ah, yeah. Dwight Yoakam was good back in the day. Oh, that's hilarious. So, but yeah, yeah. To what you said is, we're hoping to make this like a monthly type of thing where we're coming through and talk about a movie of the choice,
Mhm.
and I, Daisy's such a class act, a wonderful person, and I think this will be fun. It's been blessed already. We've been going almost half an hour, and we haven't even touched the movies yet. So,
Haven't started the movies. And I
but
assume at some point we will discuss food, right? Because we do that on Twitch while we're playing games.
we can talk about food anytime, anywhere during the stream. We have plenty of time tonight. Hey, everybody, tweet it out, share with it. We got 9 people watching. Have your friends follow us on Twitch. Come over there. Let's get to 75. One more follower over there. We hit 180 on YouTube. So let's bring everybody over. Bring your fans, even if they're sub. Just smash that like button and let's have a good time tonight with this. And yes, Bowsette, here
Yep.
we go again with the food. Absolutely.
Food.
My friend, Stunning Brave Megatron, was doing a stream last week, and we ended up taking over his stream with Mrs. Birthday Cake. So it's just kind of funny. So everywhere I go, it seems like food. I don't even have to say it. People start talking
Oh,
food somehow, and it just happens. So
that is correct. In our Twitch chat, because we have the beauty of either YouTube or Twitch is that you meet people from all over the world that
mhm.
in real life you would never meet. And so in our chats, they'll often discuss, like if we know we're streaming on a Friday night, it's Saturday morning where they are, we'll ask them what they had for breakfast or lunch. And the chat just has a ball with that.
Mhm. Oh, absolutely,
Forget the game
absolutely.
or the movie we're talking about.
Yes, I know. Well, yeah, the priorities,
Yes,
food,
priorities. Food.
food,
Food is,
definitely.
you need food, shelter, and clean water.
Eh, water's optional, but yeah, food. You gotta
Probably.
have food. Well, there you go. So who knows where we go in the future, right? But
Hmm.
hey, tonight, like I said, Daisy, it's great to have you on. I've been looking forward to this for a long time. You guys in the chat are going to love Daisy. Uh, Thank you for throwing out your movies and all in there. Make sure you keep throwing it out as we come along. When we start talking about the movies, drop your comments and your opinions in it. There's no wrong opinion in anything. And let me say, hey, to Theme Park Casual. Hey, kid, back to you. Hey, kids. So thank you for coming by,
Theme
Theme
park
Park.
casual.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Great theme park streamer
Yes.
himself. Great guy. So,
Yes.
um, one more real quick on music. Closey makes excellent mashup with modern and traditional Japanese. Oh,
Oh,
that could be interesting. I've not heard that. So,
I have not heard of them either.
yeah,
Always up
mashups.
for trying a new bean. Deep. Trying
Absolutely.
a new person. My mouth stopped working there for a moment. Sorry.
It's okay. Hey, you're live, you're being heard, and your avatar's up. So you're
This is
good.
all good. We are good.
We are good. And hello to Woopa Troopa. Hey, the great Pokemon master of all. Glad you're here.
Hello, Woopa Troopa.
It's great having him here, It's great having everybody here. This is so much fun already, and we haven't even started the food segment. So, but hey, so this first movie or first episode, first show that we're doing is we decided. Obviously, you've seen it on if you've seen it on Twitter, if you've seen the YouTube thumbnail, everything else. We want to talk about Terminator or the Terminator specifically. You know, the first three movies. After that, I watched most of them except for the last one that was like completely changed everything. But like Genesis, Salvation, I did watch those and they were entertaining, but I got a different opinion with them. And to me, they're a whole different realm of Terminator compared to the first three movies.
Yes.
I a little bit more because we heard about you, Daisy, about what you like. Like I said, I like comedies. I like the Naked Gun. I like the spoofy comedy. I like where I can go into a movie and just laugh and dump my brain, where I don't have to think. I don't have to analyze anything. I just I want to go be entertained. That's why the missus and I, if for anybody that hasn't seen it, go watch our the missus and I review of Cocaine Bear recently.
Mm-hmm.
It was I tell you, had a to me us it had a plot. You could actually it made sense. Yes, the graphics were a little bit gory. But you could tell it was fake. But it actually had a plot. You cared about the characters in the movie. It was like a good
You
movie.
said that. You
Yeah,
said that.
and it's just like I just want to go dump my brain, not worry about work problems, just go and have fun and enjoy some popcorn. And those are the type of movies I like. I like the monster movies when they're good. I like the superhero movies, but kind of my favorite franchise has always been Star Wars. And I know there'll be a day we'll talk about it. But I've done some collection shows and stuff. But
yes,
that I'll have to say that for another other thing. So it just, I just like I could go on a rampage with that and I'd just distract from what we're doing tonight. But that's kind of where I'm coming from. Mainly from Star Wars, escapism, that type of stuff. And
yes,
where I am weak is the older classics, the Casablancas and things like that. The missus is in more of that genre. But you know what? With her, she picks good movies, so I know she won't steer me wrong. So so that's a little bit about my background with movies. So people get a little frame of reference. And to me, the dumber they are, the better they are. That's kind of the thing. And Balzette says, I better remember T3. I will never watch Terminator Dark Dink Fart. Yeah, I have not watched that one. I will not watch that one either because that really just dumped everything. Whoopa, I never had to dump my brain because of oh, don't say that. Don't sell yourselves short, you great Whoopa. And yeah, that's okay. I mean, we are all have our reasons for doing what we do or not do, but I agree. Elizabeth Banks is not my favorite, but really as a movie, it was mindless fun. So, but escapism, growing up, we had Star Wars, we had Star Trek, then probably as if there may have been others that came out, but really the first type of futuristic, violent or not kind of violent movie for the time that I can really recall, and I did not have parents that took us to movies very often, was the Terminator. I remember the first time I saw it was because somebody had HBO or Cinemax. And, the basic storyline is that a human soldier is sent from 2029, which is only 6 years away.
I know, which is funny.
Wait till we get to when they about the Judgment Day.
I know, yes.
I know. We passed that like 16 years ago.
What's so cool is that the movie came out in 1984 and that they thought we would be that advanced by 96 and 2029. I mean, they had more confidence in us than we do.
Well, the Jetsons had us in flying cars, so
oh, yes.
Figure. Yes.
Yes. I'm still waiting for my flying car. Thank you very much.
And the robot maid,
oh, yeah, that maid. Too.
Yes.
Rosie.
Rosie. Well, the storyline basically a human soldier is sent from 2029 to 1984 to stop an almost indestructible cyborg killing machine sent from the same year, which has been programmed to execute a young woman whose unborn son is the key to humanity's future salvation. That's the storyline, according to IMDb. So, what I read from will be from IMDb tonight. Some of the pictures that I will have will be from that same
Place.
place. Thanks. I'm multitasking. I'm pushing a button.
I figured.
Yes.
Whoops.
Let's
So am
see.
I, and my phone decided not to
Oh no.
change. No, it's not dead. It's
No.
plugged in. It just decided not to
Yeah.
tip. I had to take notes earlier, so I set the
Mhm.
phone not to do the tip back and forth,
Yeah.
and I wanted to put it in landscape mode, and it was in portrait mode.
I gotcha. I gotcha. Well, I'm going to bring up the. I couldn't have found a smaller. Let me get back out of that. That's too small. That's too small. Oh
We're all
my
gonna have
gosh.
to get out our magnifying glasses.
Yeah, I know. Hey, well, I'll go blind with that one. So let me see. This one might be better. There we
I'll
go.
just pipe in that the movie
There.
is a James Cameron movie.
Yes.
So if you've seen the new Avatar, which I haven't had a chance to see yet, but James Cameron used to do a lot of these type of movies.
Yes. Yeah. And he was really good at it. So
Yes, really good at it.
they're
Yes.
flying cars. I didn't hear about that, but hey, that makes
Oh,
sense if you have
yes.
to have. Oh man.
I'm sorry, I'll pipe in.
Yeah.
Yes, and actually in Las Vegas, out by Lake Mead, they have, or they used to have a class. It's really a giant drone that you can sit in rather than what you would think of as a flying car. And then they also have a legitimate car that can push its wings out to fixed wings and take off like a small plane and then land that way, put the wings inwards, and then theoretically drive it on a road.
Wow.
I know.
Wow. That's amazing. I just
I don't
want.
want you don't want to know what either of those things costs,
No.
though.
Exactly. Like Balzette said there. But I tell you what, I want the mass produced where we all have flying cars, like the Jetsons told us. So,
Mm-hmm.
oh man.
Yes,
Exactly.
thank you. Was
Yeah.
that was Bowsette?
Yep.
Sorry, I
Balzette.
messed up
Yeah.
your name. Yeah, yes,
Absolutely.
absolutely right.
Mm-hmm.
Whoops,
So,
Whoopa went away. You
oh
had
yeah.
Whoop up there for a minute.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nope.
He said Blue People Avatar. I never saw the. I didn't either. That's why one of Cameron's movies I did not get into. So,
Yeah.
and actually, I think the best of his were these old ones.
No, yes, I did see the first Avatar, and it is a gorgeous, moving screensaver.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the world is beautiful to just sort of look at. The story was.
And hello to Atwood. Hey, Atwood, what's up, y'all? At a birthday dinner, but I want to still stop by, say hi, and leave a like. Thank you. Atwood, you're the man because you pulled a dad man. Miss Daisy, do you know the story about me and parties?
Nope.
When my sister got remarried several years ago, it was during college football season. And
Okay.
I left the missus and the kids in at the wedding reception where we were. My own family kind of kicked us to the side where they're like, and we're kind of. I kept sneaking out to the van to listen to the Georgia Tennessee game, and left the missus in there by herself. So I crashed out of the birthday dinner to catch up with the game. So Atwood, thank you for squeezing us in, even though you're at a birthday dinner. So hey, thank you.
Please say happy birthday to whomever's birthday it is.
Absolutely. And Atwood says Avatar's good for the visuals, not the story. Yeah, and Bowsette, it was stunning. Other than that, it's literally just Pocahontas. So I will say that I'll take y'all's word on it. I never got it. So and then you go, Atwood. Man, we might have to adopt Atwood. You know why? Because my two kids did the same thing with my nieces when we go to their house, they'd hang out in the bathrooms on the phones.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, exactly. So hey, and yeah, I survived that. Yes, I was not. Mrs. kind of came after me a little bit later, reminding me not to leave her alone like that again. But yeah, I did survive it.
That's the first thing I was thinking, Dadman, was, well, you left Mrs. there. How could you do that? Take her with you.
Uh, yeah, take you. Yeah, well, I. She might have said yes. I just didn't even think about that.
You might have.
Oh, but
Yes,
we
I
couldn't
will
leave her
sit and
close at the
listen to
table.
college football or basketball or whatever you want. Get me out of here.
Oh,
I have
that's
been to
cool.
parties like that where
Hmm.
you put on this very happy, smiley face, and inside your head you're going, "How long do I have to stay till I can bow out?"
Yeah, I know it's crazy. You're kind of like, hey, what's up? It's like, how do I
Hmm.
get out of here? So let me see something real quick. Yeah, but yeah, it's let's see. Let me see. Okay, thank you, Bowsette. I'm going to pull that up real quick. Uh,
This is
I
sad.
see that.
I'm sorry.
You go ahead and read
I
it.
apologize. I'm used to being a co-host, and
Go
I
ahead,
read
read
the
it.
chat
Hey,
because
listen.
Liam is
To
normally
me,
playing the game.
yeah, to me, you speak. To me, this as much as your show is mine. I love how you have here. Go ahead. I go ahead and read it. You're cool.
So Mrs. says, if we went, we would have probably driven away and left Grandma Man walking.
Oh my
So you
gosh.
have to take all of the man walking family with you.
No, Grandma Man had to stay behind and the
Gotcha.
kids. So,
Yeah.
and Atwood said, "Hey, I might as well be adopted. Talk with the whole family. Watch Aang play games, and Mrs. do both of you." Yep. Thank you,
Mm-hmm.
Atwood. So, well, I'm going to deviate real quickly because Balzette shared something with me about one of these
Okay.
flying cars.
Yes, please.
And this is
Which one?
this
Oh,
one.
I haven't seen that style of one. That's new to
Yeah,
me.
I believe that's what uh, Balzette was saying right here. This one here, built
Okay.
almost 20 years ago, is not a drone. It's fixed wing and jet powered.
Gotcha. I've
That
not
is
seen
awesome,
that
though.
one. That is really cool. See, that's closer to what you would think of as a flying car.
Yeah, yeah, you
Yeah.
would. Yeah, because even the Jetsons, they retracted the wheels and they flew in the air. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Yes.
that's
Yes.
wow, that's neat, Balzette. Thank you for sharing that. That's
Yes. Thank
really
you.
cool. So, but yeah, all right. I just
I need a flying car because I can't drive one that's on a street.
yeah. Well,
I need, yes, I
the
need
airlines won't let.
them. No, I know that. I need an actual self-driving car that you can sit in and tell it where you want to go, like sci-fi, and it
Mhm.
actually takes you there.
Yeah, that would be good. That would be good.
In my lifetime.
I know. Oh my gosh, we've been going 45 minutes and we finally got the
Oh,
Terminator.
yes,
In
I'm
the
so sorry. I keep
Oh no, we're
distracting.
having fun. We're having fun. The chat is helping too. Oh god, and then the chat like this. Here comes the missus. Nothing like having jet fuel just inches from your butt. Don't strike a match.
Take care of it. No smoking.
Yes, exactly. Oh my goodness. So with this series with the Terminator, we're going to look at talk about the three of the movies tonight. To what extent we do, we'll see based on time, based on what we want to say, things like that. We may be
Mhm.
more on some than others, but
Yep.
let me go with Bowsette. One more here that one
Yes.
has 6 jets built like a UFO that's blue. Wow. We might have
That
to have one of those streams one day too. Jet cars of the
definitely
future.
like futuristic sort of tech that they're working on.
Yeah, might have to have
Cars.
Bowsette on as a guest. So,
Correct. Yes,
yes, exactly.
absolutely.
All right. Terminator. All right.
Terminator.
1984. Let's see.
Yes.
Oh, crap. I got to get back out of this. I got to go back to my screen with my notes. So, and I'm
Okay.
moving a pad of paper because I do it old school. I got to have paper, and people at work pick on me for uh, insisting on having doing stuff with paper because I still like to have paper with me. So,
That's how I do it. I
so
know there's word processors, and I only take notes on my phone if there's absolutely no other way, but Yeah, I do pen and paper or pencil and paper. Old
Yeah,
school.
yeah. Um, so let's see. I'll bring up one more.
Hmm.
I mm, it's the only thing I'm not happy with is the size of some of these pictures that they don't come off as let's see, they don't come off as good or as large. So just bear with me. Yeah, Balzat says that dude in Arizona, I think there's one that built it. It has to be tethered in his backyard. Wow,
Wow.
that is something. All right, here we go. We'll bring this one up. There we go. And then hit F11. So there you go. If Yemi's out there, he knows my talking about paper comments. So, and
I was
Balzat
doing
is,
the beginning of the theme to Terminator.
oh, I know. Go ahead, do it.
Da 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 da. That's a little faster. They did it slower.
Yes, I
But
know.
when you hear that
Mm-hmm.
with these graphics, because that was 1984, you just
Yeah.
it's so engaging, the music throughout the whole movie. And they
Well,
change they'll play the theme again, but they'll play it slightly different depending on which characters are on the screen.
mm-hmm.
It's really cool.
And it's also different times when they do. It's also kind of cool when there's like one part where it sounds like a hammer, like hammer metal. It's like a
Yes.
clank, and
Yes.
you get that metallic feeling and stuff like that. Uh, I guess Yemi's hiding now about paper.
Oh,
Yes. Oh, I'm so old, but yeah, that's one of the things I was going to talk to you about with this movie is and we'll get into it in a second. Just let me, we'll come back to that because that's a very big point. But really, we had this futuristic movie in 1984. It was from the future coming back to the past. You had this a robot in a human suit. You had a person coming back. You know, looking at it in totality, it really was advanced for the time. Don't you think?
yes. Yeah. Keeping in mind what was possible in 1984 in movies, this was pushing that envelope. So, yes, you can look at it now and say, oh, well, a little bit, some of it's dated. I can assure you, it wasn't in 1984. That was really cool.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah,
they
it
did
was.
a lot of practical effects, the explosions and things, rather than the CGI, because of course that didn't entirely exist at the time.
Right. Yeah, exactly. And that's why looking at a movie like this back in time, it's easy to uh, say that it's not as good. Well, of course it's not as good. They didn't have the technology, but for what they did at the time, it was
Hmm.
amazing. And I honestly, to for what they did at the time, is better than a lot of the CGI these days.
Yes. And
We've
when
seen
they,
movies that with such bad CGI in it. I know
oh
that
God,
I
yes.
think it was Ant-Man, the recent Ant-Man that Mrs. went with me and she hated the CGI.
Oh,
We
yeah,
actually
I've
thought
heard.
we thought the little bit of CGI in Cocaine Bear was actually better than was in it. But for a movie like this from 1984, you didn't have that technology. It's like a lot of the limitations on Star Wars. You
Hmm.
relied on those practical effects,
Hmm.
and the modeling and things like that.
Modeling
Yes.
was huge.
Well, and with this movie too, like you said, that music, it gets you from the very beginning. And I thought it was
Mhm.
interesting. One of the things was the opening scene with the battle from the future.
Oh, yes.
The way it introduced, the future, and then it brought you back to the past. And then we walk into the start of the movie with the lightning coming around and the garbage truck. You
Yes.
know, that scene, that you know, again, it really looks like crappy lightning nowadays, but it was really neat and stunning for the time.
It was. Both um the I want to say his name, Arnold. He's a T-800, right? Yeah. The T-800 got dropped in a different place above Los Angeles, and so he was looking down at it. as opposed to Reese.
Hmm.
Reese got dropped in the city proper. And that's why the garbage truck was, they were picking up the garbage. So it was very interesting to see. I wonder if it was trying to convey something. The Terminator is out there
Mm.
looking down on the humans, as
Yep.
opposed to Reese is a human.
Hmm.
It is Reese, right?
Yeah, Reese. Yeah, and you're right.
Reese.
It's the T800, the Model 101.
Yes.
Very good.
So the T800, like in the first shot where the machines are always looking down on the
Hmm.
humans and trying to crush them, as opposed to Reese being spawned or delivered into the heart of the city where the humans live.
Hmm. Yeah, I had not even thought about that from that angle. If there was a connection or a difference, or how they ended up, uh, you know, because if they
Well,
use
I'm
the
not
same
sure.
teleporter,
Yes,
you wonder why they end up in different locations. But
correct.
yeah, but
I'm
see,
not sure that's what Cameron was trying to do, but that's what I got from it.
hmm, yeah, it's really interesting. Let me say something real quick. We got 13 people watching us now, Daisy. Hey, thanks for everybody coming over. Uh, Follow us on the Twitch side and make sure you. Oh, you know what? I forgot to do this. There you
I
go.
think he
There
only
you
needs
go.
one.
There.
Deadman only needs one more on Twitch to get to
75.
75.
Woohoo. Yep.
75.
And we were 180 on YouTube. So make sure you smash that like button, and
Yes,
20 more
please.
will get 200. And I get to drink some unicorn soda. So
Ooh, nice.
that's blue. So,
Ooh, blue is my favorite color.
hey, all righty. So, the first time you watched this movie, what was your thought with when you saw the music? When you saw the music, heard the music, you saw the graphics and the way that opening scene with the futuristic battle. What were your first impressions when you watched the movie?
Back in 84.
Yeah, if you can remember the first time you watched it.
It was, we did see it in the movie theater, and it looked amazing. I mean, scary. You
Hmm.
you don't want your AI to turn into robots that are killing you, but it was, you felt as if you were there, and the music right at the beginning, all you see are the credits like you have up right now, and how that sort of materializes was very sci-fi-esque. The
Hmm.
music was a bit foreboding with that doo-doo, doo-doo thing in it.
Hmm.
And then it went to the first scene, because you're sort of assuming, oh, they're going to show us the humans first here in the present. I wasn't expecting them to go, oh no, this is the future. This is what your future is going to be.
Yeah,
And
that's
all of the different robot styles and the vehicles and the
hmm
humans sneaking around.
yeah,
Yeah, it was really cool.
it really was. Let me say real quick hello to Dave. Hey, Dave, thanks for coming by. Good luck at work tonight, but glad to see you. Um,
Yes.
yeah, he's
Hope work goes well.
absolutely, and I like what Bow's at. I was, oh shit, this is going to be good. So that's awesome.
We're
That is
trying.
awesome. Yeah, but it was, I like that. I liked those battle
Hmm.
the Terminator droids, the vehicles, the air units that they had, that type of stuff. I like that ugly looking
Yeah, the
little laser
flying
shooting,
ones.
the laser shooting stuff, and all that. But
Yep.
although I will say the one thing that was stuck in my mind is, where did the humans get gas for those vehicles they had?
I
But
yeah.
I didn't. It's a movie. It's a movie.
Sometimes with sci-fi or other things, you kind of have to, you have to kind of check your brain a little bit.
Hmm.
You have to kind of tell your brain, okay, yes, but moving on. Are you enjoying the movie? If you're enjoying the movie, you can tend to sort of, your brain says, well, yeah, how did they get this, or how did they do that, or whatever. But if it's a good movie, you're willing to overlook that, as
Right.
opposed to newer movies. There's too many problems and you can't.
Yeah. Exactly. I'm looking for a specific picture here if I can find it now.
Okay, no worries.
No, it's all
I
good.
will say, while you're looking for that,
Mhm.
it
There
was
we go.
amusing to me when when they get back in some of the scenes, because this was filmed in 84, they were actually smoking cigarettes and doing things that in movies you don't see anymore.
Hmm.
Going on mopeds and motorcycles without helmets. That was
Yep,
amusing to me.
absolutely. Well, we talked about the opening scenes where with Reese in town, and then the T-800 up by the up above the city. But
Hmm.
what hit me a few years ago, and I did not make the connection till this, and this is remember the T-800 comes up on the punks.
Yes, the punk rockers.
Yes. That remembers Porky Pig smoking a cigarette. Yes, everybody smoked back then.
That is correct. And cigars.
Yep. Do you recognize somebody in here?
Um, to be honest with you, the guy on the right looks kind of familiar, but not really.
I'm not.
So,
I actually don't know who the guy on the right is, but the guy on the left,
okay.
Bill Paxton.
Are you kidding me?
No, from Aliens. Game
Wow.
over, man. Game
Game
over.
over. Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh wow. Oh wow.
Shokan. So
Nice.
that's yeah. So it's really cool. I did notice again the tire tread on the face. I'm just like, if I ever got a tattoo, that might be the one. Okay. All right, Bowsette. We got Mortal Kombat experts. We might have to watch that one too
Oh,
somewhere.
Mortal Kombat.
Shao
Now I
Kahn, and she said on the right, and then here, all caps, that was excited at a birthday party. Hey, that guy on the right was that Shao Kahn in Mortal Kombat Annihilation. All
well,
right.
that's where I know him from.
Okay. Perfect. Thanks,
Okay, because
guys.
yes. Yes, I've seen the Mortal Kombat, all of them.
The bad movie with a good soundtrack. I love it. You guys are great in the chat. Thank y'all for being here. Thank you for chatting with us. But yeah, Bill Paxton, and I did not realize that until one of the recent, I might have been Genesis that came out when they went back to stop the events in 84.
Yes.
And I remembered seeing it. Then I'm like, hey, he's there. And then I realized, he was just pretty much a no-namer back then, but he was in the original movie. So, it's it was just cool, really cool to make that connection. But you know what? That was the first scene when you're like, you finally get you get a up front right off the bat. The Terminator is not something to mess with. They stab it all the way through, and he just flings them away like they're paper. It just was.
Yes.
You got it. You got that effect right at the bat, and the one surviving guy's like just trying to get his clothes off as quickly as he could.
Off.
So it's like, oh
yes,
my
take
gosh.
my clothes, take anything you want, just don't throw me around.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, let me live, let me live. Which, and you contrast it with what happened with Michael Bihn's character, Reese. He ended up in a in an alley, and took a homeless guy's pants to run off, and and then
he didn't even have a shirt, just the pants and no shoes or socks.
Yes, exactly.
As he's running away.
Exactly.
I'm thinking, wow, you're running in an alley in bare feet. Ouch.
Mm-hmm. Well, let's talk about some of the things that make this movie really, really unique, and you touched on it already with that about the music earlier. Okay, it gave you that feel of creep, but it set the atmosphere.
Yes.
A couple of things that I thought is that it really did a good job with the exposition. Where they advance the story without having you sit through too many long lectures. A lot of times movies do that where they talk you to death instead of just showing you what happened. But they did it in a few scenes, like in the garage. You find out about the future a little bit, or under the bridge. They're talking about how the women were, things like that. You see a flashback. What did you think about, or even in the police station when he's being interrogated and he's talking about the future? How do you think that they did with that? Let me say real quick, hello Hello, B from O. Hey, thank you. Hey, thank you for coming by and stopping, and thanks for the like and comment. Appreciate it. Maybe if you get back to listen, hey, but thank you for stopping by, even though you're busy tonight. Appreciate it, B from O.
Thank you very
Uh,
much.
Absolutely. So, what do you think about how they dealt with the exposition? Where it's like, the problem some movies weigh you down in exposition to where why don't you just show me, or it takes forever, or they don't give you enough. How this, at least to me, it seemed like this movie did a good job with that right balance. It was detailed enough, they gave you enough, but didn't overdo it. What did you think?
I thought it was really good. Like you were saying, this movie starts out by throwing us into the future. This is what life is like, and showed it to us. Then the T-800 and Reese come back. And my question, of course, was why do they have no clothing on? And you have to go farther into the movie before Reese is explaining to in the police department, as you were saying, to the
Mm-hmm.
psychiatrist who thinks he's a loony bin,
Right.
why they can't like bring anything through. And when they said, well, what then? How did the robot come through? And he said, well, it's got skin over it, so it's kind of a cyborg. And they're going, very nice. But that also helped us understand why things were happening in the movie. But they didn't just start the movie by either having you read a ton of stuff that's, a black background, white words, and you've got to read like 4 paragraphs to get
Mm-hmm.
caught up. They didn't do that. So the exposition also wasn't, let me sit here for 5 minutes and tell the audience everything they need to know. Oh, look, it's a transformer.
Dave's still here looking bad guy from Cobra in that scene. Yeah, yeah. But to go forward, this is leading up to the first killing of Sarah Connor, and
Yes.
you just see this, and all of a sudden the car runs over it,
Yes.
smash, and you're like, holy
Yes.
crap, this came out
Yeah,
of nowhere.
because the robot, the T-800, doesn't care about anything. It doesn't care that that's a child's toy that
Mm-hmm.
got left in the street. It doesn't care about humans. It wants them gone.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing when he went through the phone book, because we got introduced to Sarah as a
Mm-hmm.
waitress, and then he goes through the phone book, and there's 3 of them. And I was thinking, back in 84, I was thinking, how many people above me have the same name
Yes.
in the phone book? Because we had phone books.
Oh my gosh.
I mean,
Well,
if they decide to come back and get me, how many people are above me in the phone book?
I know. Please. That's why I like having a name like. Well, see, my kind of name. My name would be. I'd be like unique. It's like, oh my gosh, that
Oh,
I'd hate to be the
no.
only one. Oh
Well,
my
then my
goodness.
husband reminded me, he said, actually, hun, remember, we just listed my name. And I went, oh, good.
Yes. Hey, I got a question. Dave out here, our friend Dave has a question. I think I know the answer to this one. Quiz.
Mhm.
What actor was killed by a Terminator, an alien, and a Predator?
Oh, wow. Good question. I've seen all of those movies.
Yeah.
Hmm.
There you go. Yeah. Yeah, we
Yes.
mentioned the
Yes,
name.
that's it. Yep. Gotcha.
He had the best death scenes in so many things,
He
whether it was
died quite
Alien.
well.
Yeah. I mean, oh, dude, the Predator 2 movie that he was in with just pulled out the head, just the
Yeah.
spinal cord. That was
Yeah.
creepy.
Yes. Some of it gets a little bit, okay, I'm going to close my eyes now.
Yes, go
In
watch some of
this
those.
movie, when we get further into this movie,
Mm-hmm.
there's a scene with the T-800 that I had to keep looking down, going, no, not so much. But we'll get there.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let's go. And if I skip it, make sure we
No worries.
get to it. So we talked about the exposition. Also, we've talked about the music. We talked a bit about special effects, and hopefully we'll see some pictures in there. And I'm
Mhm.
trying to remember One of the other great things, my recollection for this movie was it made Schwarzenegger what he became. So many
Mhm.
movies, he was famous for quotes. The Running
Yes.
Man, I don't do request, you
Yes.
know. And the first one in this one was "fuck you, asshole," you know.
That when that heads up display comes on and he's
Yeah,
got a choice of it, I was laughing because he had
yeah,
like three or four different things, and then he went with
yeah.
that. Or his
How
very
did,
famous line is the "I'll be back."
yes, and I think we're going to have a picture of that a little bit later. But those are, and it's funny how those have really become iconic.
Oh
They
yes,
they are part of culture. They become taken on a life of their own uh, in everyday language. This
and
is one
people
of
don't always know where it came from. They just know the quote. Because some people, especially younger ones who may or may not have actually seen the movies,
okay,
they don't actually know who said it, but they know the line.
okay.
Yeah,
I'm
because it's part of culture.
I don't know what the real rule is, but I'm going to take a chance with it. If I got to deal with it later, I will. But I'm going to put this up really quick, so you got to look really quick. This is the
Okay.
scene Daisy was talking about. Possible response: yes, no, or what? Go away. Please come back later. Oh, they had two versions of the FU a hole and FU, but here it is. So
Yes. Yeah, that.
exactly,
Right, right, right.
yes.
And that heads up comes up and it's red with the white and it's a little fuzzy because he's having some issues. And
Hmm.
yeah. And then he went all the way down and I'm like, that's funny.
I thought it was crazy having two choices. It's one you're just
Well,
adding on another description.
yes. Yes. Well,
Oh,
for Star Trek for a moment, the one where they're coming back, I think it's the one to save the whales. Um, Captain Kirk and Mr. Spock are on a bus
hmm.
and they start discussing that when they've gone back in time, the how they talk, because in Star Trek proper, the old Star Trek, they didn't use anything even remotely like a swear word. And
Hmm.
so then Captain Kirk, he's walking across the street and he calls someone a double dumb ass, and it is so funny having Captain Kirk say that
Oh wow.
because they're back in our time. Well, not now, in the
Hmm.
that when the movie was made, which I forget what year it is, but they're talking to people in that era, and it was really funny.
Yeah.
So I
Oh,
thought of that
absolutely.
when this was going on. When I rewatched the movie, I went, "Oh yeah, the computer's trying to figure out what to say back."
Yep. Yep. Absolutely. So
Yes,
then,
because the guy who was going to clean wanted to know if he was had a dead cat in there.
yes, exactly. I actually, yeah. The poor. You know
Yes,
what? He didn't care. He just was like, okay, he's moving on.
that is
It's so funny to
correct.
watch. Like, hey, he wasn't going to worry
Yeah,
about it.
hey, if I don't have to clean the room, I'm fine. Bye.
Yeah. Exactly. Well, it's interesting how then they showed the Terminator gets his weapons. I mean, Reese is stuck with just a shotgun that he sawed off with from the police car,
Yes.
and the Terminator goes in a gun shop, you know, all that, and,
Yes.
and
I always
uh,
felt
of
sorry
course
for
that
the gun
guy
shop
I
owner.
know,
Yeah.
any the guy from Gremlins, you know,
He
that
might
guy
have
looks.
been.
That guy looks so familiar. Was in so many movies. So then again, the police finally get the connection. That they
Mhm.
finally connect the names, and they go down the phone book, try to get Sarah Connor. Then they finally get her, and she has to leave the restaurant to go down to use a payphone, and they tell her to wait in a public area.
Yes. Yes.
So
Yeah, because her
and
friends had called her in and said, "Look, you're dead." And they meant
mhm,
because the name was the same.
yeah. So then we
Oh,
move it
yes.
over. Yeah, we in the tech noir
Tech
because
noir.
yeah, tech noir, and because what's interesting is this was a very interesting scene. I thought very well. Again, music created a mood. You had the
Mhm.
disco pumping loud, but you also
Mhm.
had that bottom underlying Terminator music. You knew
Mhm.
the creep. It laid. You knew something was going to happen,
Yes.
and you kind of figured who it was because of who you saw the Terminator was, who'd be good or bad, but it was still the way they kept that effect, like if you did not know, you
Which
would
one?
which
Yes.
one was the bad guy? Which one was really after to kill her?
And the
Because
first time I saw
because
it, we saw it, you didn't know.
well, because looks like a stalker. The way
Yes.
the way they shoot it makes him look like a stalker. And Terminator's just walking through, and then it's funny how she has to reach over for a napkin, and Terminator passes her, and then happens to
Hmm.
get her on the return, and then they start shooting at that point. So,
Well, she looks up and sees Reese in the mirror at the bar
mm-hmm,
too. And
yeah,
she's thinking, uh-oh, he's in here following me.
mm-hmm,
So
yeah,
they shot this scene very well.
yes, yes, exactly, and yeah,
Yeah,
dark
then all
humor,
heck breaks loose.
dark humor, yes, yeah, exactly. I mean, and the poor girl behind Sarah Connor gets
Mm.
shot and falls in there,
Yep.
which I think also talking about Sarah Connor with the way they, how they introduced her early in the movie as a struggling waitress that has a hard life and everybody just is down on her and everything like that,
Hmm.
and yet you know she she's struggling, she makes through, she can't do this, she can't do that, and, and then
Well, in the
by the end of the
beginning,
movie she
she's
becomes very
basically
tough.
they like show her and her roommate, they're getting ready for Friday night, going out on a date, the very 80s hair, all of that. Just a typical 80s woman. She got the job, goes out with friends. She's not who Sarah Connor becomes later.
Mm-hmm.
She's not this I'm proficient with weapons, I know what I'm doing kind of
Mm-hmm.
person yet. And that's really cool.
Right, and this is
She's not the bestest ever right from the start.
right, actually she looked very weak.
Yes. Yes,
You
she
felt
did.
for her, poor thing, and like
Yes.
couldn't catch a break. She got dumped by her date. Also, just
Yes. Oh, yes.
everything that could go wrong was going wrong for her.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it was definitely show you how a character grew within a movie to go,
Yes.
from that to she's really strong at the end. And then
Yes.
we'll talk about transition beyond
We
into
will.
Terminator
Yes.
2 later, but yeah, I mean, a great growth in the movie. And this is the scene, I believe, in here where we got and it was not Schwarzenegger with it. It was Reese. Come with me if you want to live.
Yes. Yeah,
And
I
that,
noticed that.
I think it got more famous with Schwarzenegger and
Yes.
when the Terminator said it in the next movie. But that's another classic line that came out of this franchise.
Yes.
That
There's a similar line in Aladdin, the animated version. Like he puts his hand out and it's sort of like a come with me if you trust me, or do you trust me sort of
mm-hmm.
line. It's similar.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. So then, of course, everybody flees from this. Of course, Terminator chases Reese and Sarah again, and then they
Mm-hmm.
crash into the wall. And
Oh, the car chase.
yeah,
The
the
car
car
chase
chase.
was good. Car chases in movies, they don't happen now as much.
Well, and especially again back to the technology at the time. I mean, they
Yes.
were really practical effects based, and just man, it was a really really good job. You got a feel for it, and I just kept wondering how they could change positions driving or whatever else. But what
Oh,
was
yeah.
interesting,
I was like, I don't know, but
yeah.
okay, we'll try.
Well, it's kind of cool though that we had more exposition in the garage scene before they hijacked the car and before the chase. And basically,
Mm-hmm.
it's like we find out what the Terminator is. The
Yes.
metal surrounded by human flesh, and and even Reese acknowledged it was a possible future. You know,
Yes.
which is
Yes.
interesting. Looking how the franchise went down the road, it's like it's not set. Those type of themes that came through it. So of course,
Yes.
like you said, the chase went on, and then of course, then they have to surrender, and then we get to the police station.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, which is quite interesting. What did you think of when they got to the police station with the way they treated her and interviewed her, and uh, and what happened before the Terminator comes back?
Well, okay, so it was a different time, and so she's a young woman, and they're older guys. So they almost treated her with kid gloves. Let's bring her a cup of coffee here, drink this. Um, it's hard. Well, I can't come up with words right now.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I thought it was well done. I thought it was all very well acted.
Mm-hmm.
But I think today is a bit different how men and women interact.
Yeah.
But some of it was difficult because, like, I think this is where they tell her that her
Roommate was dead.
roommate
Yeah.
and the roommates, and they were sort of blunt about that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That was a bit like, okay, we're cops and we've seen all
Yeah.
this before.
Oh,
So
yeah,
they sort
because
of
I know,
dumped
because
that on her.
she asked if she needed to identify the body, and they said no, it's been identified. You know, they
Yeah.
were just really like, no, you don't need it. So,
Yeah.
but it was interesting. I thought that they that whole scene with that, and I like the way that we saw these people. You know, we saw her with the cops and detectives. Then they, in this scene here, they showed the video of the interrogation. Let me say hello real quickly to Bone. Hey, Bone, welcome in. Thanks for joining us tonight. Glad you're here. And that means we still got 12 people with us. Hey, like and subscribe on the YouTube side and follow us on Twitch because we're on both platforms tonight.
Excellent.
Absolutely. And I got my great friend Daisy Blossom here with me tonight. We're talking the Terminator. We're still on the first one because there's so much with this first one. I think
Yes.
I OD'd on this first one. There was just something about this movie that, because all these themes introduced, like we've talked about, the quotes, the music, the exposition, the special effects, you know, what they were for the time, and we'll see them change in the next two movies as technology advanced. But you know, it was interesting the way they did the interview and showed her the interview. You know, when Reese finally loses it, screaming at the camera, he knows it, and they're acting shocked that he knew where the camera was.
Yes.
And it caused that intensity.
Well, and the psychiatrist was all into it because he's thinking, oh, I could make a whole case on this and write a book and da 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 da. And then the police officer's like, turn it off.
Yeah. Turn it off. Oh, sorry. You know.
Sorry.
Yeah. Which then let me go. I'm going to set up for the next scene because, you know, then we get the famous see, one of our famous scenes. Let me trying to find the right scene here. We'll do this here. Actually, wait a second. I think I got a better one if I can find it on which side we have it. But, you know, so we have the police station, we have the interview, and then all of a sudden we let's see, I know there's one in here, and all of a sudden,
well, even with the photo you showed before, the police officer, even though they were going back and forth between being careful with her and then being blunt, and when she was crying, he put his arm around her, like, it's okay, you know.
Yeah,
I'm not sure that would happen today.
No,
probably not allowed.
Probably not allowed.
Yeah.
Let's see. I was looking for one. I got one that I can use if I can't find it here. But yeah, here we go. This is the picture. This is the picture. Got to do it because the police shoot up station. You know.
Yes, they do.
You know, I'm a friend of Sarah Connor's. I heard she's here.
Oh, yes.
She's up to give a statement. Then he looks to the left, the right. Do you want to say it or do you want me?
Oh, you can say it. You have a deeper voice.
I'll be back.
That's it. Yes.
That's where we got.
You could tell he was sizing up. Arnold did a very good job of acting like a robot in the way that his eyes moved and his head did not as quick as humans. I'm sure he could do it that way, but sort of you could tell I'm sizing up how to get into this place and what I need to do. And then I'll be back. Yeah.
I don't know if you noticed this, and because I'm really excited about this scene because, you know, this silly psychologist, it was like a cult figure, and he actually appeared in all three movies.
Yes, he did.
And what's so funny is, Arnold's just before this, when Terminator's walking in, the psychologist is walking right out the door, right literally shoulder to shoulder with him.
And his beeper goes off, so he doesn't even see Arnold.
Yeah.
He looks down at the beeper, and then they
Yes.
pass each other.
Yes. And then we
Yes.
get I'll be back, and then the car crash
I'll be
comes in,
back.
and then there are 30 cops in the police station, but hey, they were no match for the Terminator. So
That is correct.
absolutely,
It was a very one-sided fight.
the toy truck returns in part 2. Yep.
I think the psychiatrist is in either the 4th or the 5th one.
I put.
Remember
I had to look back. I kind of put that out.
I know.
I
Yeah,
I saw him in
me
3.
too.
I know I saw him in 3. So hey.
Yeah.
So
Chat
then we get
probably knows. Anyone who's seen all 5 of them can tell us.
yes. Chat away, folks. What did y'all like in the chat? Are there things of this movie that y'all like? There, what you didn't like,
Oh, what you didn't like?
Yeah,
Yes.
I mean, that's all kinds of stuff here. So, feel free to chat what you think with this movie. So then we get the fight and all this stuff. We got the other famous quote. Then we get to the bridge scene where there's more exposition and it's actually flashback to the future. With this is where he falls asleep and the Terminator invades into the secure area in the future and shoots people up, and the burning picture scene. And honestly, that's the type of Terminator movies I wanted to see. I wanted to see that type instead of like Genesis and Salvation was kind of that, but it was like, it was not even, it just looked so different than what these were. Because I think in the first 3 movies, that's the type of Terminator graphics and stuff that I wanted to see. Those type of futuristic battles, not necessarily all these CGI driven things and stuff like that.
Yes.
Because this movie was what I want in the futuristic fight scenes. It gave me what I wanted to see, what I expected. So we got the exposition. This is where, the hotel scene where he's cleaning up is where the famous quote to the guy says, "Hey, pal, you got a dead rat in there? Or dead cat," something like that. And
dead
and then,
cat, yeah.
Yeah, and it's like, you could tell how bad the graphics were. You could just see it, but, it was limited to technology. You look back on it fondly, though.
Well, and you could see that the skin that was left was no longer quite as pink and human-like. It looked like he was slowly turning into a zombie almost.
Yeah.
This is that scene where the Terminator himself is doing all that was a little bit, okay, I'm gonna close my eyes now.
Yes, we're gonna. Yes, if you don't like
Especially with
close-up
the eye
surgery,
thing, the whole eye thing was okay.
Yes,
It's
I
an
know.
R-rated. I know it's an R-rated movie, but like, yeah.
Just seeing something like that, very gross. Yes, and yes, they got rid of the laser weapons from the original. Yep, I think in the second one they had some laser in T2, and we'll get in T2 shortly. So, but yeah, exactly. So it made 2 more bullets and stuff. I don't know. It lost some of the futuristic to me.
It did. It lost some. I mean, they still had the robots and the flying things and stuff, but it wasn't quite the same.
Yeah.
They needed the lasers. Yes, we all know you can't see the lasers and all that, but you needed the lasers.
I agree. To me, it kept a futuristic look. So
yeah, ray gun. You want to see the ray guns.
Yeah, the eye scene looked fake. It looked fake, but it was still kind of gross.
Yeah, it was still kind of gross.
Exactly. So hey, but yeah, and so then they chase, they heal up, all that. He goes to get supplies, and she's like, "Oh, yummy dinner," and it was like cotton balls.
Yes, right.
All kinds of stuff.
Ammonia.
Like, hey, we're not eating. We're making plastic explosives tonight. So
the pipe bombs.
Exactly. So the one thing that I always got confused with, why did she call her mom at that point? What did she call?
I know.
It's like
I think. Oh, wait. She called her mom, or her mom called her? Yeah, I guess she called her mom.
Yeah, because then the Terminator turned it back around and redialed the number and asked for the location.
And the voice.
Well, yeah, because she asked for the number. She gave her the Terminator the number, and the Terminator called for the location.
Yes.
And the Terminator was doing the mom's voice. Yeah.
Yeah, the first time he did it was when he stole the police car, so that they showed you he could do that with a voice.
Mm-hmm.
So then when she calls her mom back, it's you don't see who's talking. You just see the house. You told me to come up here and hide
Mm-hmm.
in the whatever. And they slowly pan across until you see it's the Terminator talking like her mom.
Right. Another
That was
great scene. Very
very
well
creepy
shot.
and well shot. Yep.
Yes. Yes.
And the only thing is right at the end, he acting like the mom says sweetheart, goodbye sweetheart, or I'll see you sweetheart. And she hangs up the phone and has this odd look, and I'm thinking that's probably not what her mom actually calls her.
Right. Right.
But she still thought it was her mom. Yeah.
Yep. That was great. That and the how do they get fuel in the future were probably the two things that I'm sitting there like, why,
I
how?
don't
But
know if you could sort of put it off to the fact that she's young and
yeah.
then fearing for her life and maybe wanting to check on her mom or hear her
Mm-hmm.
mom's voice because she's really upset.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to, yeah.
Yeah.
Like I
So
wouldn't, if we were on the run, I would not have called any of the members of
no.
my family. It wouldn't have happened.
No, not at all. Not at all. Uh, okay, so after that, then the Terminator finds them. They make the run. They have the escape. We have basically the final scene, the final
Hmm.
battle chase scene, and final battle scene. Uh, that goes. What did you think about that? I mean, I know we had a lot of chases, but what did you think of how they did the chase and all leading up to the final destruction of the Terminator?
It was, well, you do have to keep in mind by that point, since she they together set fire to the truck. And I was thinking of you with your trucks and Fortnite into the gas
Mm-hmm.
station.
Yes.
And then he comes out as just the skeleton Terminator. And it does look a tad wonky.
Mm-hmm. Oh
But
yeah.
practical ones, when they showed his foot with the little ball of the foot at the back,
Mm-hmm.
and then you could hear the tap as he puts his foot down, I thought that was very cool.
Right.
And
Yeah,
it
that
was
was one
still
spot I could see.
suspenseful.
That
Yeah.
was one spot I could see how it was
Mhm.
not seamless. It was this, you could tell. But again,
Mhm.
limitations of the technology. At that
Yes.
point, we didn't care. You
No,
know,
we didn't. Not in '84. We didn't
it
care.
was still pretty scary, and something you would not have expected to see.
Well, and
'Cause-
it really drove home what Reese had said, that it will never stop. It
Mhm.
it will keep hunting you, and it will never stop hunting you.
Right.
And here it is. It's lost all of its human parts,
Mhm.
and it's just this mechanical device that's gonna keep coming after you.
Well, even after like this scene here, well, Reese dies,
Yes.
but it blows him in half, and you think it's over. You think he's done. But
Yes.
then he's the
Yep.
Terminator still, and then when she finds out Reese is dead, then it grabs her half a torso and a head with one arm,
Yes.
grabs her, and he keeps
Just the
going.
top half. Yeah.
Until
And it
she
keeps dragging itself. The whole
yeah
top half of it is dragging itself.
he's not going to quit. He's not going to give up. Just like Reese
Nope.
had said. So and he kept going until she crushed him, and then that pretty much ended the movie.
Yes,
Except
when his arm came out,
hmm
and she's getting the character arc. She's becoming a stronger person, and yes, Reese is dead. Yes, that's horrible, but I've got to survive and climb through that press, which scared the crud out of me when she did that. I'm thinking, oh God, please don't close on her. And then it closes on the top half, but it's
hmm
reaching out. And then they showed her just sort of backing. She's in a corner and the arm is still there. And she finally reaches out and sort of pushes at it like you would,
hmm
because it's still alive, even though I saw the red eyes They
Yeah.
slowly shut down. But she's still not Sarah Connor, the buff person who's got 8 million weapons to go after somebody with.
Right.
But she's very resourceful and
Right.
she's a survivor.
Right. And you know, we start to see us toward the end, the final
Yes,
scene in the
in
jeep
the
in the
final.
desert
Yeah,
on her own. Has a dog, you know, which we know the dogs are knew
they
how to
bark.
sense
Yes.
Terminators. You know, so yeah, you know, we saw the start of her becoming that strong, independent individual, and then we'll
Yes.
hear a bit more about what happens, you know, in the other two movies. You know, because
hmm
she gets a little bit extreme, but you know what? When you finally see reality, you know, something that's
Yes.
unbelievable that nobody believes yourself firsthand, then you know, you know, and nobody's listening to you. You do start yelling at everybody and think they're crazy. So let me see, Bowsette. Let's see.
Yeah,
The
that's
thing
it.
with T1 and T2 is that you go into your own head and while watching and think this would be terrifying to deal with. Is a possible outcome of AI technology.
hmm
Absolutely. Absolutely.
hmm
And I think if you look back at our discussion, my show last Tuesday with Raquel Briggs on talking about science
Yes.
fiction, that whole
hmm
thing was talked about with Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, you know, with
Yes.
electricity
The
and,
electricity
you know,
bringing people back to life.
right, exactly. You know, so
Well, in a
yeah,
way, technology sort of caught up to that in that when someone's heart stops, they could use the paddles, electric charge, to restart your heart.
mm-hmm,
So
yep,
that was forward thinking. And back in the 80s, technology was really starting to ramp up. And the fear was, we might create robots that take over or an AI that takes over. And how do we deal with that?
Yemi, if you're still here, that's why I insist on paper. I like paper. I don't
Oh,
trust the technology.
yeah, because even if you go to a doctor's office, if they can't get your records up on the computer, you don't exist.
I know, and I tell
And
you,
we used to have file folders, and I definitely existed at that point.
and you better go every so often, otherwise they purge you out of the system, and
That
then
is
good luck trying to
correct.
get an appointment. Then I know the last time was
However,
like,
the paper records were kept. If it was too long, they'd put your files in an actual file folder box and store them for years.
well, it's
They
funny.
don't do that with computers.
Our kids were very healthy growing up and stuff, but it was like one time it's like they looked at the missus and like, do y'all don't go here, do you? Do you have other doctors? And like, no, our kids haven't been sick, so we
Yep.
didn't go. So it's kind of like a strange thing, but yeah. With that last scene we talked about in the desert, we talked about the powerful music intros,
hmm
but how about when we leave this movie, that music's back. Dun, 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 dun.
hmm
I can't do it right, but uh, and you also have the storm cloud in the back. You
Yes, and
know,
he
what do you
said,
think
the
about
kid
that? Do you
said,
think that was done for a reason or
oh,
for a
yes,
purpose?
because the kid says something in Spanish, and then the man he says the storm is coming, and she says, I know, or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that was very deliberate.
Absolutely.
Even though she thought, well, I've solved the problem,
Mm-hmm.
somewhere in her, I think, was that knowledge. Well, how much did I change the future? Are we okay now? Or is there a storm coming?
Right.
At least that's
Absolutely.
what I got out of it. You
Yeah.
might have gotten something different.
No, I got the same thing. I got
hmm
I got the same thing. There is a storm coming. Uh, we see in the second or third that they may have thought that they had ended it, but yeah, we'll
Yes, they
touch
most
those
certainly
there.
they changed the future, but not quite enough.
Right. Well, the missus says, no, what's scary is when you go to a completely new doctor and they know your entire medical history. Yeah,
Yes, that could be scary too.
that'd be scary.
And that's the technology taking over. Or
Yes.
that your phone knows absolutely everywhere you've been and will tell you Do you want to
Mm-hmm.
see the map of everything you've done? Wait, why do you know? I mean, I know why you know, but no.
Yep, absolutely. So that's the first. That's the Terminator. So overall, what
Yes.
did you think about this as a movie?
Um, I really liked it. I really did. And I tend to look very fondly at the first movie in any series, because that sets this whole world up for you.
Mm-hmm.
That gets you the information as to when we move on, if we get a second movie, it'll build on it. But the original got you into this world. It's the reason that you went to the second movie, because you so much love the setup in the first one.
Mm-hmm.
And second movies, sequels, don't always go well. This
No.
one did. This one did. But I like the first one. I really do.
Yeah.
How about you?
I really like this. I really like this movie. And it's done well over time.
Mm-hmm.
Just watching it the night, I did not. Yeah, I noticed a difference in the quality of the graphics and the visual. I call it graphics, but I know visual effects. I know I'm not using the right terms, but I, you know, I didn't lose much from the differences.
Mm-hmm.
I did not sit back and pay attention. There were a couple obvious ones that looked you could tell the difference in
Yeah.
technologies, some that you mentioned, but yeah, that did not distract me. It was an awesome plot. It was an awesome. I thought where this movie did a very good job is it balanced the exposition, the chasing, the fighting. It all balanced out, seemed seamless and smooth throughout the whole movie.
Yes.
That's the part that I liked with this movie because yeah, I'm going to say something in a little bit about the other one, Terminator
Mm-hmm.
2. I think that this one was balanced very well, and I agree that the first in the line of movies, it's very hard to repeat. You know,
Yes.
Sequels generally will not stand up to the first. So
Mm-hmm. Well, and even some of the things the first time you go into the world, that's the first time you've seen a Terminator. It's the first time you've seen what they're portraying as the future and what the machines look like and all of that. In the movies, the next
mhm.
movies, you've seen some of what's going to happen. And so it's not quite as ooh ah, although with the second one, they did do a very good job because they changed some of that.
Yeah,
So you
absolutely.
could still be surprised and go, "Oh wow, okay."
Hmm. Yeah, like I said, I think it was just overall a great movie, and it will be the probably. Well, I don't want to say that. I'm going to spoil something because we're going to talk
Mhm.
about what we really like by the end of everything. So hey, but let's see. Let's see.
Yeah, I agree with Mrs. Stadman.
Oh yeah, the okay. A sequel is coming. Yes,
Yeah, this is when she said, "I know about the storm. The
exactly.
storm is coming," and Mrs. says a
Yep,
sequel is coming.
exactly. Bone says there was a show called Movie Magic on Discovery Channel a long time ago. I used to watch all the time. Oh, that's cool. Yeah,
Ah,
those are really good. So, and that's good if you like Atwood. That's cool. That's cool.
oh yeah,
We're on.
like what you like.
Yeah, we I know. I'm one that if I like the original, uh, with a little debate there. Oh, that's too funny. But yeah, I like the originals, and I like I tell you briefly with Star Wars, nothing was ever going to compare to the original, much less the next two movies. That's why Empire was so amazing, being a sequel that may have been better
Hmm.
than the original, but it's still just those
But when
original ones
someone
are what stick with me.
asks which
Hmm.
one of the Star Wars is your favorite, I go, well, it wasn't called A New Hope when I saw it in
Right,
77. It was just called Star Wars.
right.
And I said, I realize that the second and third ones did things really, really well, but that set up the world. So
Hmm.
that's my favorite.
We'll have to do a Star Wars show then, because we can talk forever on that. We might have to do one
Forever.
per. We might have to do them per movie. But,
This is true. Yes, it's I'm so sorry. I'm very chatty. So,
oh,
we haven't even gone into the second one yet. We
hey,
might not get
actually,
to the third one.
Daisy, I don't mind as long as you have the time and we're having fun. And if and we got 13 people still with us, hanging out with us.
That's
That's awesome.
amazing. Thank you.
So
Welcome.
we can go 4 hours, 5 hours, as long as you
Well, I
want to
will
go.
have dinner at some point because I'm in
Yeah,
a different time zone than you.
I know. I know. Oh man. Hello. Okay. Well, Atwood Terminator 2 is one of the extreme rare instances where sequels actually is better than the original. Absolutely. I will say,
Yes, that happens.
hey, we got George Lucas watching us.
Hello, Mr. Lucas. I
Oh,
absolutely adored your world that you created. Really, seriously, I
yeah.
absolutely love the world you created.
Yeah. Well, hey. Well, listen, we got 15 people all of a sudden. Hey, folks. Hey, thanks for being here.
Nice.
Smash that like button on YouTube. Subscribe. I think we're at 180 tonight. And then follow us on Twitch side.
Yes,
We
please.
do both channels. So, hey, something for everybody. Mrs., if you can again, put Liam's link in again for people that coming through now.
Thank you so much.
So I think we'll probably be a little bit faster on Terminator 2, Terminator 3 here.
Okay.
But there was just so much to unpack in that first one. And
Mhm.
I took a whole page of notes on that first one.
Yes. I have a page, both sides actually, of a piece of paper for the
Yes.
first one.
Did I say also subscribe? I think I did. But
Yes, you did.
okay. And look at the
Over on
little banner in
Twitch.
the bottom. Yeah. Follow us on Twitch and subscribe here on YouTube. Oh, yeah. I
Oh,
got
that's right. YouTube is subscribe and Twitch is follow.
I usually forget to put the banner out there, and I actually have done it tonight. Hey, that's
You
good.
did. I saw it come up.
Absolutely.
That worked
Terminator
well.
2. Terminator 2.
There we go.
This is iconic.
Oh,
I think
yes.
I
The
must
glasses,
be.
the jacket, the motorcycle, the whichever
Hey,
sort of shotgun that is.
we talked about French metal earlier. Well, we got the card in French, the Jugement d'Honneur.
Oh,
Oh my
very
goodness.
nice.
So, what is interesting with this movie? This movie, I remember when it came out. It was a huge movie about marketing.
So this is 91.
This was 91. Pepsi, I think Subway. There were so many change. I just remember the marketing everywhere.
Yes, tie-ins.
The tie-ins were everywhere. It was promoted everywhere. The other thing was the new Terminator, the liquid metal Terminator.
Oh yes,
was something that everybody just went crazy over because it was something neat, something something really unexpected. I think they caught people off guard with that because we just thought the Terminator was a metal robot.
Yes, not a shapeshifter. Not turning into like liquid metal and then forming into the person and his clothes.
Yeah.
And then he turned into different people with different outfits on. It was wild to watch that effect. The special effect that was required to do that was very cool.
Yes. I'm trying to remember what the name of the Terminator,
Isn't it a T-1000?
T-1000, yep, T-1000. Yes. Daisy, you remember your stuff.
I may or may not have watched these movies multiple times in my lifetime. Maybe.
Yep. ILM, Industrial Light and Magic. Yes, they did that.
Yes.
Yeah.
The first one was a different effects company. I can't remember what the first one was called. I don't think it was an ILM because I don't think ILM entirely did. Yeah, I don't think I wrote it down, but it was a different effects company.
Well, one of the other things that before we get in a movie, what was so this was another iconic movie because it had some lines in it too. It continued with that, but for people in Florida that travel to Universal Studios in Orlando, this was a stage show for 20 years or something, for a long time. They I remember we were married in 96 and we went down for our honeymoon, and I just had, because the hostess into Cyberdyne does your tour. That was super. And,
okay. So Universal Hollywood does that too with the
super. Oh, I kept talking out loud enough. The lady finally looked at me and said, "Sir, are you just colossally stupid?"
It's like, that's not nice. The one in Hollywood, if people, because people would start mimicking after you've been there for a while, and they'd all go, "Oh, super," or they'd say something.
Everybody did
and
that.
The actress in Hollywood, the Hollywood Universal, they would say cute things back.
Oh, well, I deserved it. I think the missus would agree. I deserved whatever I got with it, because I did more than just super. I don't know what the heck I remember, but it got the reaction. It was like, oh my gosh, hey. But I guess yours was probably the same type of thing, whereas 3D, it was 3D, the screen, you had it around, you had a motorcycle, you had a stage where the live actors came out, they played.
They ran around inside the theater itself.
Yes. They came down the aisles, I think, sometimes. And basically there was also, they would shoot it with the screens. They come down off the ceiling. It was really cool, the interactive, I call it multimedia, because, go ahead.
Like when they had a water effect, it would spray water or a mist out into the theater. Yeah.
Or that when the T-1000 is looking for John Connor. Sarah Connor, and the 3D glasses on, and that face is coming out at you.
Yes, and you felt like you could reach out and touch it.
Yes, exactly. So, Bone, I don't know if that's good. Identify as Florida man. And yeah,
dear.
Fantasy. They but I tell you, with this ride, it was great. One in Florida, you got air conditioning. So in the summer, it was a great ride to be. But it was a good entertainment.
Very hot in Southern California too. It's not as humid, but it can be very hot.
Well, what happened really too, with happened with this, over time, it shows its age, and the motorcycle quit working a lot. So we have many performances. We're sitting in there like, you'd see they had to adapt off of it. You'd still hear the motorcycle track. You see the motorcycle on the screen, but they just walk out and walk around. It was quite funny to see, but you played along with it. It really was a good attraction. It really was. So, I mean, it was almost
the stage show started, you were standing in a room before you went into the theater proper. And that's where the lady was talking with the super.
Yeah.
And they showed things on the screen, and then Sarah and the Rebels kind of broke into the broadcast, and then eventually you got to go into the theater with the 3D glasses.
Yep. And see, once again, and what we see in Terminator 2, the movie, is a lot like the stage show. It was the futuristic type battle. You had the laser shooting.
Yes.
You had the flying units, the ground units, the walking Terminators.
Did you have the ending with I believe they called it the T1 million or something, that was all the glass metal, but it almost looked like a spider at the end?
I believe we did. I believe we did. I have vague memories of it, but I think we probably did. I think it was similar to one you had, because it was one more thing. You thought it was over, then
and something else shows up.
Yeah. I'm like, geez, how much more do we need?
I would have, watching it, I was like, I would like them to put that in a movie.
Yeah.
And they never really did.
No, they didn't. Didn't.
Yeah. They went in a different direction.
Yeah. Because we talk about the T-1000, and bring this up here, this shot here. Robert Patrick, love this guy.
That was funny.
Have always loved this guy.
Yep.
And he, it just, I loved him in this role. The first time I remember
Mhm.
seeing him was in Die Hard 2. He was one of the bad guys. And
He was terrifying. That look
mhm.
pierced you through the movie screen.
The one commonality though the three movies had, at least the three that we're going to talk about, is we had naked dude butts
Oh,
appear.
yes. Oh,
So
yes, we did. Yes,
yes,
we didn't.
exactly.
Yes. Mhm.
Uh, the
I
T1
think
million is
Arnold
Terminator to
wanted to
protect.
show
Yeah,
off. Oh,
Stacy, you're right. You're right. The T, because they were trying to blow up the core, remember? And that, yeah, we did have that same ending at ours, because that Bowsette saying the T1 million is the Terminator protects the core. So yes, we did have that same ending, but it
mhm.
looked more badass in the comics. So, but yeah, we did. Yeah. So, but yeah, this is I mean, all these actors that have come through, different things. But yeah, this scene here, how he took everybody died when they came into contact.
Mhm.
Uh,
Oh, yeah,
with
this one would, like, killed everybody.
yeah. Although he did well, he did talk to some of the kids and didn't let the kids alone though. But he let a few people go. But
Well,
yeah,
that was very much also of its time. In earlier times, kids and dogs were all going to survive,
hmm
as opposed to nowadays, you're not really sure. They could get wiped
yeah.
out too.
Well, like this one with the step parents. Yeah,
Oh God, yes.
yeah. I can't show the scene. I don't care
And
about
he's
showing the scene, but
revving the engine so he doesn't have to listen to
that that
the
that also,
father that's
yeah. Also, later on when John's calling back
uh-huh.
home, and she answers the phone, "Where are you? It's dinner time." And
Mhm.
he's like, "That doesn't sound like her." And
She's
then
never
it's
that nice to me.
right, and then the Terminator does a very, how's Wolfie doing? Wolfie's fine. Then
Uh-huh.
it's like they're dead. It's
Yep.
like, oh, okay, well, hey. But the way she got
Did he
the
drop that?
loudmouth husband that was like, "Oh,
Yeah.
shut up," and then just
Oh,
calmly
yeah.
just moved the hand over and just
Mhm.
right into the fridge.
And they
So,
explained that as exposition, and it wasn't really bad. I mean,
mhm,
um, Arnie's character, the T-800, says that this thing, this liquid T-1000, can form into looking like humans, but it can't create certain types of weapons. It's more like swords or something like that. And they
right.
gave that exposition. They showed you when he stabs the husband,
Mhm.
but it didn't seem like we're turning to the camera and going, "Oh, so that audience, it can't form into like a Tommy gun and shoot you. It's only sword-like weapons or certain types of weapons."
Yeah.
It felt very natural or organic to have that told to you.
Well, it's kind of amazing the way he kept looking at his arm, like when he had the like after that scene, he was
Hmm.
like looking at the sword, part of his
Yes.
arm. So it was just like he's examining it, look, just studying it. Like he
Yeah.
was, I don't know, it was kind of a weird look, but he just stayed in it.
Yeah. And he
Uh,
sort of then watched it go back to being a hand,
mm-hmm,
almost as if, well, he's been programmed to do certain things and may not realize that a subroutine kicked in to do that, rather
mm-hmm.
than he, as quote unquote a robot AI, thinking, oh, I should make a sword and now I should turn back into a human hand. It was almost like a subroutine went off, and then he was sort of, oh, okay, well, that's cool.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So, and then of course, then after that, then we have more uh, shooting at the mall and everything else. Another
Oh God,
chain.
yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Oh,
We'll get there. We'll get there in a little bit. Yes, we'll get there in a little bit. Yeah, that was quite an
yeah.
intense scene there. And then of course, so he orders. You got to do what I say. So they go to
Oh,
break out.
yes.
They go break. Hey, it's our friend again.
There he
Hey,
is. There he is.
this guy popped up in this series like Richard Atherton, I think, appeared in the Die Hard movies.
Uh-huh.
The reporter.
Uh-huh.
It's the guy you like to hate that just kept
Yes.
popping up because he's a dork. But yeah, he
Well, and you got the sense. See, there's 7 years between the two movies. And I
mhm,
think it's 7 years. And you got the sense that this guy did go and write his book about this crazy guy and blah blah blah.
mhm,
And now he's full of himself and he's
mhm.
showing off to the other. Oh, and this is Sarah Connor, and she's a patient, and blah 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 blah.
Yeah,
He
it was.
came out. Yeah, you hate him.
Yeah, you hate him. It's like, hey, so smug and all, and then
Uh-huh, very smug.
yeah. So it is interesting to see. He learned that day that the Terminator was real. So
Oh, yes, he did.
so then we had more after this. We had more chase and stuff, and
Are
then
you going to talk about the scene where the T-1000 is in the floor, that this guy walks over the black and white checkered floor
go ahead,
in
describe
the
it for
hallway?
us. Go ahead,
Okay,
describe it for
so
us.
when I can't remember exactly, he's coming off of an elevator, I think,
Hmm.
and he's walking down a hall in this psych ward. And the floor are these little squares that are black and white checked floor. And he walks down the floor and you're like, oh God, I hate you. Where are you going? And then behind him, this face appears in the floor and the T-1000 comes up out of the floor. So he was pretending to be, or turned into, this checkered
Yep.
floor, and then comes up and turns into the police officer character. That was
Yeah.
very cool special effects at the time.
And they're just staring at each other like, what?
Yes, like, oh, maybe she's not crazy.
Although some guy looks like me starts to pick his finger up at my forehead, I'm running. Or something. I'm
I,
fighting. I'm not just going to stand there.
no, yeah. Yeah, I'm not going to
Like,
be quite. But some people do get like a deer in the headlights.
yeah.
They sort of just stand there like a brain overload. I don't know what
Am I
to do.
looking at this? Is this really happening?
Yes, that too. That
Yep.
too. Am I really seeing this? Or have I gone crazy as well?
Absolutely. So, so then we have more shooting, more chasing. Then we
Lots
had,
of shooting and chasing.
yeah, then we have the scene that was referenced, the home invasion scene when they, you go in to kill Dyson, but then they change their mind
Well,
and
it
he
is
goes,
cool when she's still in the hospital how creative she is in escaping, because at that point she doesn't know either of the Terminators have come back until she
Mhm.
sees the picture
Right.
of the T-800 walking in the mall. And then she's like, aha. And she kicks into the Sarah Connor sort of no nonsense, I'm going to go save my son, and how she gets the keys and the things that she does,
Yeah.
runs down a hallway to the elevator, and then the T-800 comes out and she thinks, okay, it's after me now,
Uh-huh.
And so you can see again the passage of time. All these years have gone by and she's honed her skills to what she needs to do. And now she's a mom trying to go find her son and protect him.
Well, and then what's even kind of crazy is the first thing she is going down the hallway, she runs into the T-1000 model, and all she
Is that the
thinks is
first one she sees? Oh, that's right. She sees him first.
sees him first and does not know about the other version.
That's true. Yes, that is.
Yeah.
I missed that.
So it's like, I mean, she's panicking, freaking out, and then John has to settle down. So, but yeah, it was. I thought that was interesting the way they showed that, because, she has this flash. What she sees what she had fought the last time. She didn't realize it had been reprogrammed, could be reprogrammed, or anything like that. So
yes. Or when they are escaping and
Mhm.
the T-1000 is chasing them,
Yep.
and they close the door, the grated bars,
Mhm.
and it walks through the bars and
Yeah.
then reassembles. That is really cool too.
That's crazy. Well, I'm going to say, hey, we got 15 people watching us still. So thank you all for hanging out with us. We've hit about the 2 hour
Oh,
mark and we're still on Terminator 2, having fun. And we haven't even gotten to the food segment yet. So, hey, but thank you,
yeah,
everybody.
no.
Hey, follow us on the Twitch side. Smash that button here on the YouTube side, the like button, and sub if you haven't already. Bring your friends, bring your pets, your animals, whatever you got. Have them in. Let's grow and have fun together. So
Hey,
this is
my
my
cat
guest.
watches YouTube.
All right, there you go. But we have no George tonight.
Oh no, we don't have
I
George. I'm
know
sorry. You don't
George.
have to come watch us on Twitch to know who George is.
George. Well, hey,
George.
we have
We
a
have
mouse. Hey, Daisy, our friend, a mouse came in. Hey, Squeaka.
Squeaka. Squeaka and I have similar food likes and dislikes.
Absolutely. Yay. See? Hey, Squeaka. Hey, glad you could come by. We're not spoiling too much. Hang out with us. We'll have fun. But yeah, it's we're kind of I think what we're kind of in a non-spoiler mode, I think, really. But either way, but hey, thanks for coming by and everybody make sure you leave a like, sub if you haven't. So that's
Follow
awesome.
on Twitch.
Follow on Twitch also. I have to go look and see if we've gotten to
I don't
75
know if
yet there
anyone's
too.
on Twitch because I'm actually watching the YouTube one so I can read chat.
Yeah, that's awesome though. But
You might have lurkers over there.
hey, that's cool. We like
Yep,
lurkers.
we enjoy lurkers. Yep.
We like lurkers. Lurkers count too. Lurkers mean a lot. You know, there's watch hours and all kinds of stuff there too.
Definitely.
Absolutely. So, but hey, yeah, exactly. But hey, we'll get there. We'll have fun.
Okay,
My
so I think
guest
we
is the
were on
great,
the home invasion part.
yeah, the home invasion. But let me just say, hey, we got the great, awesome Daisy Blossom with me tonight,
Thank you.
and we are going to hopefully do this monthly, right, Daisy?
Yes, we hope to.
Yay! Yes.
Yes.
So wonderful, wonderful. And
We might pick
hey,
one movie instead of three, though.
yeah, here's George.
George!
George.
Hello, Liam.
Ah,
Is he over on Twitch?
that's
I
okay,
think he's over
Bone.
on
If you follow over on that side, we'll be number 75. You'll be number 75. Like I know who my number 100 on YouTube is. I'll know that you're number 75. So, but yeah.
Awesome.
Oh yeah, and what he says here is that the way he moves the skin from the arm. And hey, here you go, Daisy. The awesomest Daisy.
The awesome Squeaka.
Yay! All right, and Bone, thank you, Bone. Hey, well, let me do this. So, talk about the home invasion scene a little bit while I pull up the picture that was just mentioned.
Oh, goodness. Okay, wait. My brain
Where
left
they
the
were going into
building.
Dyson's house.
That's right, going into Dyson's house.
Oh, by the way, I didn't say hi. I should have said hi to Liam. I said hi to George, but not Liam. Sorry, Liam. Sorry, Liam. Sorry. Oh, good.
Well, he's the one that put George in there and distracted you.
What is the story with George? Let me take a quick. George is Liam. I don't know if you put the link again in there, Mrs. But Liam is a Daisy son, a Twitch streamer, and they have this one redemption where you can get George. He's a little monkey that runs around and throws stuff all around right in the middle of Liam's game. So, but how did George come about?
Okay, well, the first little pet we had, which I think you may or may not have seen,
let me say hi to Whizbear. Hey, do you know?
Hello, Whizbear.
Hey, welcome.
I hope your day is going well. Thank you for joining us. These are people on Twitch that we know.
Oh, wonderful. Well, thank you. That's why we try to serve the Twitch side too.
Yes, if you're not already following over there on Twitch, Wiz, give Dadman a follow. You probably are already following, though, is my guess.
But hey, we'll take more.
Mrs.
Yes. Thank you.
So our first animal was actually Sir Chunky the Third, and he's a bulldog.
Uh-huh.
And he's a very misbehaving bulldog. So he comes out on the screen and he sniffs about, and then he urinates on either the first thing was the laptop for Liam Greywolf's desk. Now he does so on the screen. And then the screen goes all wonky if you're watching and we have to call tech support to fix it. So that was the first one. So then the second, these are graphics. If you've never watched Twitch, if the longer you watch someone on Twitch, you accrue channel points. And the streamer can set what those channel points are redeemed for. So we have graphics that show up. So as I said, the bulldog walks around and moves and does things. So we wanted to get another one. And actually, Liam's father, Mr. Daisy Blossom, said, well, why don't you try this, a chimpanzee being funny? And so Liam found the graphics for it. And the chat actually named him George, like George of the Jungle, or the George from, there's a book and a cartoon that has a George in it that's also a monkey. So our chat named him George. And that's a channel redemption. And he comes and runs around and he makes all kinds of noise, and then he throws bananas. And we make him appear for Mr. Dadman because Mr. Dadman likes the character.
I love George. And let me say a real quick hello and thank you, WizBear. And thank you. We got 2 and was it Bone that went over on Twitch? We got 76 on the Twitch side. But let me say hello to Barry Place 28. Welcome on the YouTube side. So hey, thanks for being here. Make sure you hit the smash that like button.
Sorry. Go ahead.
What's
Curious George? Yes.
76. Yeah, 76 on the Twitch side. We got 2 that came over. Yes.
Awesome.
So, but thank you. Hey, we did it. Thank you, Barry Place 28. And if you're new to the channel, check out our other content. We do Fortnite gaming, football streams, basketball currently with Whoopa Troopa, and football on Friday nights with the XFL. We do. Mrs. and I are going to a fort next week. About a trip to Fort Pickens next week on one of our detours with the Dadman. So we do all kinds of stuff here, not just one type of thing. So hopefully, subscribe to the channel, help us grow, and help us and come hang out with us.
Yes.
The like
and
button
you should
is
go
hit.
back and watch
Thank
last week. Mr. Dadman did an interview. It's okay. Her last name is Briggs. And she's a science fiction
I know this
aficionado.
I know this name, Bob. Hey, Bob Pritchard. Hey, Barry Place. Thank you for coming in, man. Good to see you. Sorry, Daisy.
Oh, no worries. She really loves Star Trek is her first love, but she likes sci-fi, and she's written a book of short stories that are sci-fi. And Dadman did an interview with her last week, and it was such an amazing interview that I actually went on Amazon and I've bought the book, and I am now reading it. And they're short stories. So it's not like, okay, it's an 800-page book by someone I don't know. Am I going to like it? These are really short, quick reads, but very cool. And you should go back and watch that one if you're new to the channel. That's on YouTube.
Yeah, absolutely. It was 3 hours.
It was 3 hours, yes.
I had somebody that said they took a few days to watch it, but it was worth it. Well, that last half hour is completely impromptu, and we got on food, so go figure.
Yes, we did. I think she brought it up, though.
Yeah, it kind of worked out, and I showed pictures, so hey. So we're back to the Terminator 2, the scene in the home after the home invasion, and then he goes to reveal himself, the Terminator model, to Dyson and see what because he recognized the arm,
the hand.
The hand,
yes.
Yeah. So this is just a still. I'm going to bring it up real quick. Sorry. This is
so they start this scene with Dyson being a regular family, and the mom is telling the son go to bed, and he's playing with a remote control car and running it around their house, and the normal home. It's a beautiful home, because he's a scientist. And then Sarah shows up, and the Terminator goes to show, hey, what you're doing in the now is going to eventually turn into me and the AIs that want to wipe out humans. It is kind of brutal, though. He
Yeah.
does. I'm with the wife. They keep showing back to the husband and the wife as he's like
Yeah.
cutting the skin off of his arm.
It's not for the faint of heart for sure. But then
No.
again, people like me like bounce that out there. It's awesome. But yes. Yeah.
But he
Either you like it or don't.
recognizes. Yeah.
Yeah. That's the point. Is
Oh,
she
and
recognizes
Sarah
it.
is so angry because
Hmm.
she's like, you knew. You all knew I wasn't crazy. And I got put in an institution and you all knew.
Hmm. Yeah, it was quite interesting. I will definitely say that. So a nice reveal there.
Mm-hmm.
So then basically from there, we have the end of the movie. They go into Cyberdyne to try to destroy it once for all. And
Yes.
Dyson, you know, well, I
Yeah.
don't know that I can.
Well, a lot of that, the battle
I can.
with the
Oops.
T-1000 and
Look at the missus. She's out there ready to fight. That's so simple. Try it again. And then I would say the fact that John literally has to hold her back until she realizes. Yeah,
mm-hmm.
because she's about to
Oh,
lose all humanity with what she's about to do to the family.
yes,
And
because
even though he was
she's
a
going
delinquent, he was a delinquent to his
that is correct.
adopted parents and really disobeyed all along. He still had that where he
Well, he thought his
would
mom was
hurt someone.
crazy too.
Mm-hmm.
He said, I got raised this way. And then as I got older, and then they took him away from her and put her in an institution. And he refers to her sort of as like, my mom, I thought my mom was crazy. I believed them because he was a kid.
Yeah, exactly.
And
But
then she's going to kill the Cyberdyne guy. And he's like, yeah, you can't lose your humanity and do that.
Yeah. The missus clarified, I can handle someone's head being blown off, but a knife cut makes my stomach turn.
Yeah,
I think it's that slow thing.
It's slow.
Yeah, the slow.
Yeah.
It's kind of like
And
watching.
you feel pain because
Mhm.
even if the paper cuts, if you've been
Yeah.
slicing something and you accidentally cut yourself, it's just like, oh, yuck.
Yes. It's like her. Well, anything slow gets the missus like taking slimy okra and stringing it. Yeah, it's
Yeah. Oh no.
yes.
Yeah. That they've gotten way too good with how
Yeah.
they film those kinds of things, and I'm like, okay, no, I'm closing my eyes now.
Absolutely. Well, so like we said, they go in, they think that they free they freeze
Things get blown up.
Things get blown up and burned and
and
melted
burn.
and melted. Even the T-1000
Yep.
sacrificed himself back, and we get the iconic thumbs up.
The thumbs
as it
up.
goes-
Oh, then
goes,
you see that all over.
Yeah.
The
So
memes.
So it's exactly. So we had memes from this movie. We had memes, product placement. We had more quotes.
Mm-hmm.
We had all that stuff really that came through. It was a solid movie. It was and I tell you what, they did very well with the special effects at the time. There were still scenes though that you could see. I think like in the aqueduct where the Robert Patrick's character is walking out. I think that was a spot where it was kind of glitchy. You could tell that was off a little bit, but really, I mean, to pull off what they did for the time was very impressive, and just was really, advanced,
Well, in the
for the time.
difference in the 7 years between what was a little bit more wonky sort of in the first one looking back, there's a bit less wonkiness 7 years later. You can tell, wow, major, because of course, Star Wars was doing its thing, and there were lots of movies really catching on to what you could do with special effects and how far you could push them.
We have 17 people watching us.
Oh,
Thank you,
goodness.
folks. We're up to 16 likes on the YouTube side. So
well, one of them is me.
Let's smash it. So, and I really love having you, Daisy. This is fun, and I enjoy chatting with these things with you and stuff like that.
Thank you so much for inviting me. This is lovely.
I have a great time, having a great old time, and I look forward to doing more too. And we'll finish this one up real quick. Let me make sure I need to check something that somebody sent me real quick.
Well, I will.
So overall, this movie, what do you think? Where it was? I mean,
well, I will tell you, it drew me in when Dyson sacrifices himself, I
Mhm.
did I did do the female crying in the theater, even though it's a movie, but it was like, wow, he understood. He understood, even though he was trying to do something for good, that it was not going to end well. And so he sacrifices himself. And then the T-800 does the same thing. And in the first movie, he's the bad guy. And in this one, he's the good guy. He's trying to help because he's been reprogrammed. And
Mhm.
I must say, I enjoyed both of them. But as I've said, I have a slight, the first one in the series, if the first one draws me in to, okay, yeah, they're making sequels, I'll go see them. This sequel was amazing, and that does not usually happen.
Mhm.
We waited 7 years in real time for it to have it be that fantastic. But in my heart, I have the first one as my favorite.
Okay. Oh,
But this is an
well,
incredibly close second.
yeah. Okay. Well, I'm gonna hold my
Yes,
stuff till the end.
and that's
So,
fine.
okay. Did
Yes.
you? So, Terminator 2, I thought was really cool for all those reasons.
Hmm.
I'll stop before I go any further because then I'll start to, give things away. But there were a lot of positives with it.
Hmm.
It had that soundtrack, which was even better than the
Yes.
first. And they really
Yes.
hammered the sound quality was better, I think, with the time.
Of
And
course it was.
as
Yes.
Bones
Even in the
said, Dyson,
theaters.
yeah, but like Bones said, Dyson redeemed himself in the end. Yeah,
Yes, he
and
did.
but yeah, there was just so much with that. The visuals, the liquid metal, that was like I remember that caused a lot of talk, and
Oh,
it
yeah.
and it was like I said, 91. It was like really, I know that Star Wars marketed with toys and stuff like that, but looking back, and like I said, I didn't necessarily go to a lot of movies, so I might have missed things, but that 91, that seemed to be like the first or one of the earliest movies that I saw that truly had that much product placement or tied into the movie with the movie tied in with other company products. Um, that that seems to be my recollection. But can you think of any other movies before that that tied
Well, I'm
in?
trying to think things like, see, McDonald's is ubiquitous now with the Happy Meals and things that have the different toys that go with. Um,
Hmm.
they've always, to my recollection, they have done product placement
Hmm.
in others, but to have campaigns, not just how our product is in the movie, like Reese's Pieces in ET,
Hmm.
to have outside and commercials that tied in. I'm not sure that happened. This I don't know that this was the first one, but it became much bigger
Yeah.
in the 90s.
It seemed like the first one where I saw it, where you couldn't
Yeah,
ignore it, where
where
it's
you
just
noticed it.
it went beyond just hey, here have some toys. It was like.
Yes.
And
Yes.
Balzette describes T1 as sci-fi horror and T2 as sci-fi action.
That I would go
So
with that.
yeah, Atwood believes that T2 is sci-fi action and horror, but I all I know is that they were good movies. I enjoyed them.
Hmm.
So
Well,
all right,
sometimes movies fall into more than one genre. Often they do.
yeah. And I do agree with Balzette's comment right here, and I kind of looked at it this way: as I didn't find T2 as horrifying more as it was just blowing stuff up. Because I mean, it really
I
had a lot
I
of
think
blow.
the horror, I did feel more of a sense of horror from dread from the first movie,
Mm-hmm.
especially when the thing had been blown in half and the top half of it is still dragging itself after you to get you. That is horror, as well as all of the they got to fix body
Yeah.
parts and stuff.
I do agree with you here, though, Atwood. Aliens was my favorite in the whole franchise. Maybe we could look at that movie one night. I love that one, but hey, although hey,
Yeah, Alien versus Aliens. Yes.
we got a Stay Puft Marshmallow Man, and yes,
Oh, yes. Oh, the Ghostbusters movies.
hey,
Yeah, we can't get off topic. We've already been going for an incredibly long time.
yes, but hey, there's some food. It's marshmallows. We can eat them.
Megatron.
Megatron made it! Yay! Oh my gosh. And T2, he said T2's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
The music's dope. And says hi to
Mm-hmm.
the missus. But I think Bowsette really hit because this line was said by Reese, and I think it was in the garage scene that he was telling her is a possible outcome,
Yes. Yeah, he
not that it
definitely
was
said it was
set.
possible.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean that was a very good theme, very big theme to pick up on. All
Mm-hmm.
right, with oh my god, the missus can never eat a s'more without shuddering. Oh gosh. Well, the last Ghostbusters movie, the little marshmallows started eating people.
Oh,
Uh,
yes.
yes, that's another thing. God, Daisy, I think we could talk about almost anything that's out there. So
True.
T2 basically, I thought it was a solid movie. I'll leave
Mm-hmm.
it there so that we can talk. We don't have to talk a lot about 3. I don't know how much of 3 you remember, how much that you saw.
I have seen it. It's been quite a while. I didn't have a chance, unfortunately, to rewatch the third one,
Mm-hmm.
but I do remember. I mean,
Okay.
bits of it.
Well, I will talk about that briefly, only so that we
Go
can put
ahead.
these 3. But I'm trying to get the right picture up. Trying to
I get the
find one's the
picture up.
right.
Are you
Yeah.
trying to find the new Terminator?
Oh my God. The
There's
way
a scene
you
in it.
know,
I must tell you. We went to it. I went to it with Mr. Daisy Blossom, and he went, "Oh, that's not right."
well, I
You
will
know
tell
what I'm
you.
talking about, don't
I
you?
know. I know. I know. I
He
know.
was like, "No, that's not right."
I know. Well, I can't get a larger picture, but we got 17 people. I was like, Ollie, I'm sorry, I can't. I just thank you,
That's
people.
fine.
This Daisy, you're a
This is your
star.
channel. I'm so
But
excited.
you're a star. That I love hanging out with
No,
you, and
Dadman, you're
we're
the
having so
star.
much fun. And all you get great people hanging out with is you guys are the stars. So thank you for making it
Chat.
so
Yep.
great to be here. This unfortunately I can't get it.
Oh,
Find a larger
Bowsette's
one.
comment. Oh my goodness, Bowsette's comment is perfect.
Judgment Day is
Oh,
always that outcome. All they do is
not that
delay
one.
the inevitable 4 times. Yep, that's a really
Wait,
really good comment. Which one?
go down a little bit.
Bounce that
She's
down
got a
again.
really cute comment. That one.
Yeah, the Terminatrix. Yes, yes. Well, I'm showing the movies thing right here, but the Terminatrix. You want to see the Terminatrix?
No, but you can show her.
I got here's the Terminatrix here. There you go.
Wow, yes.
Yeah, really cool
Yes.
scenes here.
Mm-hmm. The
So
eyes.
yeah, stunning loves female robo representation. The TX. Hey, that
Yes.
woke up. Castle's back. Hey,
You
that's what they
guys are
called.
great in chat.
That's what they called the Terminator, female Terminator back in the day. Was even said on the news. That's even better when you get news to
Oh,
run with
really?
it.
They cut. I see. I didn't see that.
That is a hilarious. That is hilarious. I see. For everybody else, I'll see if I can find a nice, better picture of the Terminatrix.
With
But
the red outfit. Yes.
yeah, here you go.
Yes, but we hadn't gotten rid of the Terminators show up. Anyone from
Here
the
we
future
go.
comes back. Yes, that's her.
Is that good enough for you? And just like that, hey, you guys are great. You guys are great. I just like, oh man, was on Fox. Was it Fox News? Yeah. Good one. Good one. That is a hoot. Hey, oh man,
Mm-hmm.
just you guys are in the chat, and
They're on fire.
they are, and they're staying with us. It is great to have so many of y'all here tonight and hanging out with us. And your Castle's Yowzer. Yowza. There you go. So basically, I'll just kind of do a recap scenario and stuff,
Mhm.
some things that I like with it. And basically, you got another two Terminators come back from the future to the past. It's funny. Actually, no. It was the previous movie, Terminator 2, where Judgment Day happened August 29, 1997. We said that earlier. I only bring that up is because that date stuck in me. We were joking earlier about how we're 20-something years later, and it's like, whoops. They,
Whoops.
it's amazing. Like some of the other shows that had like 20, like we'd be now, we should be having flying cars like
The
we
Blade Runner.
everywhere. Blade Runner, yeah.
The 2 Blade Runner movies.
Do you like Blade Runner?
I do. I know a lot of people are not.
The Missus
Not
loves
into
Blade
it.
Runner, the original Blade Runner. So
I love the original, and I thought the second one was very different, but it was okay. It was okay.
Mhm.
I don't hate it. I know a lot of people don't like the second one. I understand why.
Yeah, I saw the first one a lot when we had a computer, when we just got a computer and we had a DVD player. It was actually kind of cool. I watched it
Well, they
so many
keep changing
times.
the ending, so it would depend on which ending you got for the first one,
Right.
because they have changed that.
Oh, well, hey, thanks for another sub, Bun. Appreciate it. Hey.
Thank you.
And Whizbear loves the Blade Runner original. So, hey, thank you,
Way to
everybody.
go.
Okay, with Terminator 3, you know, you started with another dream battle scene. One connection between all three of these movies I liked. They had the old style, the flying drone things, the rolling bots. I mean, the walking Terminator, you know, they didn't get silly like the later movies did. I like, you know, it was that dark laser type of focus again, laser bolts and stuff like that.
It was the darkness and the blue hue to things.
All three of those movies kept that, and I enjoyed that. That's what I wanted going forward. I really wanted a whole movie set in the future with that type of thing.
Yes, a lot of people did.
We never got it.
Nope.
Because when we did get Salvation, it was, I don't know, whatever you want to call it. But this movie also had things in it. You had your quotes like the one after in the strip bar, and he walks in naked and wants the dancer's clothes, and then he ends up dancer's closing with the glasses.
The glasses.
Talk to the hand. You know.
My husband and I still say that. Talk to the hand.
Talk to the hand, and it's so funny because you know the guy's dancing to Macho Man.
Yes,
like, it was hilarious.
Yes, YMCA and Macho Man. Yep,
it was hilarious. So,
and he looks like those glasses look like John
Elton John.
Elton John. Yes,
Elton John. That's exactly what I thought when I saw them too. So, and basically, you know, we talked about in the movie. I'm going to try to bring some other pictures up. You know, what we talked about, how they could only do like the T-800 could only do the blade weapons, things like that. This one actually had quite a arsenal. They could actually. She had this one hand cannon thing that was well, you wonder why she used pistols, but she did use pistols. But this is the scene where after the accident, the hand cannon, I called it, got damaged. So you see where she goes through the processing and stuff, and then switches to flamethrower.
Yep.
You know, so it was really a cool thing.
And it showed the progression from the T-800 to the T-1000, the first one, and it could only do blade-like weapons, and then this one could do proper weapons.
Exactly. The technology was always advancing. It's like, as that said, you know, you could not stop Terminator Day. You just delayed it. And the progress was coming. It was happening. And we see in the background, the lead actress's father, you know, is a general in charge of research of the weapon systems and stuff like that. You know, the military, the government's working to counter, you know, to increase the technology, increase the defense capability.
Yes.
Yeah, I like talk to the hand because the fist is pissed. I never heard that one. Heard that one.
There's talk to the left hand because that ain't right.
That's cool. I like both of them. I like that Whizbear. That's funny. So basically, you know, and this is after we see John Connor get in an accident, raids the vet for medicines and stuff, because he's staying off the grid. He's staying off the grid, trying to lay low profile so nobody has a record of him and stuff. So that's when Claire Danes' character comes, locks him in a kennel because, you know, he fell for something. I think she gives
some sort of a sedative for an animal, and then
he did. He overdid it too. Yeah, and so then the Terminatrix comes through, you know, the store, and then there's the fighting. Schwarzenegger characters coming, and then there's the chase. This particular one, I believe, happened after the cemetery scene, so we're going to take a look at that because after the vet store, then there was a chase through the town, and then they escaped for a little bit, but then the Terminator went to take them to Sarah Connor's memorial gravesite, which was in a vault.
Yes. The beautiful stained glass window, by the way.
Oh, absolutely. That the marble floors and everything.
Yep.
It was just astounding it was a nice thing here. I'm going to
It was a great way to bury your that
comes out of the vault with a casket full of weapons. Of course, John Connor's in that to get him to the car because Claire Danes' character had run out and all that and was on the road, trying to get away from these two guys. So it was interesting. Of course, he processes it, no humans killed and stuff.
Yeah.
And let's see, the Terminatrix was the first with microtechnology. Seems backward. Feels like controlling liquid metal would be far more advanced. Probably. But, it's probably one of those things where they had nowhere to go. So, so I don't even think back in 91 people could have conceived of microtechnology back then. But yeah.
I don't know what year this one came out.
This one, let me see. Let's see. I will check real quick. I believe 2003.
Oh, okay. So, wow.
2003.
It went from 91 to 2003. That's 12 years.
Yes. And the cemetery scene, we just after that, where the Terminator comes out with a casket holding, we got our friend who makes his glorious return with the, I pooped in my pants look. There he goes.
Hello, sir.
Hello. Oh my gosh, what did I just do? It's like, and then he promptly decides to run off. He leaves the girl, Catherine Brewster, to fend for herself. He just runs off to the hills.
Like, nope.
Gone.
They didn't train me for this. I'm gone.
Nope. I'm done. I've seen it once. I'm not doing that. I'm not dealing with that. That was, I love that scene with that. And there's also this scene in the because what had happened here is bringing up, they were trying to recapture Catherine Brewster. John Connor's in the back. Well, this is a rocket RPG from the casket. He pulls up between Brewster and the Terminatrix and uses this to knock the Terminatrix back quite a bit. And so at that point, Catherine Brewster's like, I'm going with you guys. I'm not going to fight it anymore. So she's along for the ride. So this dude needs a new career path. Yeah, that psychiatrist. Yeah.
Yes,
all right. Happy birthday, Atwood. Yeah, this is old as you.
Happy birthday.
Oh no. I was talking about it came out the same year for him. I just
gotcha.
2003.
Yes,
just
and
a youngster.
Bone said I saw T3 in the theaters. Yes.
Yeah, I know the missus and I did too. So this is what happens in here. So she takes up with them at that point. Then we get the exposition. One thing that all three movies seem to do is exposition. They were effective with filling in the picture briefly, but accurately and effectively. You know what I mean? They didn't ramble too long, kind of like when I go off on a tirade, or they didn't leave holes. They were very effective, I thought.
Yes. Especially when the end with the two characters, the John Connor who's grown up, and then the vet, and and how what's going on, and the look they give each other.
Yeah, in the camper, in the camper, it's like your kids, and they're like, our kids. Ugh.
What?
He's like, don't worry, you're not my type. And like, Even though they had
Yep.
made out the day before everything, T2, all the stuff, the events of T2 had happened. So, hey, everybody's,
Mhm.
hey, oh, I didn't realize you're such a youngster,
You're a youngster,
23.
Megatron.
Oh my gosh, you're really young. Bowsette, you are still young, my lady. You are very young.
Yep. That's young as well.
Yep.
Yes.
I mean, some of us go back to the 70s, literally the
Some of us
70s.
go back to the 60s.
No, you don't. You're 30. You know, you sound like
Oh,
30.
yes. Sure
Yes.
I
So,
am.
yay. You're as young as that kitty cat avatar. So,
My
and see, the
liege.
missus is not too, missus on 30, 64,
I'm
19.
older than Mrs.
Oh, wow. Hey. Well, that is interesting, folks. Hey.
Yes, because I just act like a child on
Well, that's
screen.
good. Stay young forever. Stay young forever. So, so basically, they reveal the plot that they're
Hmm.
that they're married. That they're eventually going to be married. I'm going to see if I can find a picture in the base, real quick. If I can find things, but so they progress to where her dad is because her dad once if was found out he was on the list, the kill list,
Hmm.
it became a mission priority, and the Terminator agreed with that. So, but then we
They were
see,
building in that factory, if I remember correctly, they were building some form of Terminator, like the Terminator 1 or something, and it was on treads.
mhm.
It had it, the arms came up to fire at you. Is that correct, or am I mixing
Yeah,
that up?
no, that's it. And I don't have a
Yeah.
good picture of it yet, but this is one of the
Yes.
movie screens like this. Yes,
Yes. And there's a whole bunch of them in
yeah.
this
So,
factory.
and the thing is what they did is, part of the backstory is you got to understand. And I'm going to say we've got 18. You people are great folks for
Yes.
hanging with us forever.
Thank
Y'all
you.
make our night. Y'all here and participating with us, or even lurking. Thank you.
Hmm.
The Terminatrix. I like that name, Terminatrix. Now she
I
comes in
know.
and she infects this uh, a couple of these units with the virus. It gives it
Hmm.
instructions to do. It has that capability to control other robotic or mechanical devices. Well, what the background was throughout the whole movie that there's this worldwide virus that was affecting systems, cell phones, defense networks, all kinds of different things.
Hmm.
So what happened then, if we see in the labs that and this is one of the items that she infected. Well, what we see then is that they're ordered to shut everything down, uh, to reboot, and basically turn it all over to Skynet, and Skynet would take control to get
Hmm.
rid of the virus. But we see very, very quickly that the virus, it gets the virus, but it is the virus. So
Yes.
then it takes over. And at that time, this Terminatrix is going through the base. The other Terminator, the T1s, as Daisy mentioned, are starting to shoot the place up, killing all the military workers, and everything like that. So you you've got, let's see, I guess that's it. I
Yeah,
can't
take
find what I
out
was
the
looking for.
humans.
Yeah, take
They're
out the
taking out
humans.
all the humans.
I agree. Shutting down is never a good option. I agree. But so they basically go through that. Then find out there's a plane, so they need to go to this location. Her dad, as he's dying, tells them to go to. So the Terminatrix and Arnold fight. And of course, she infects him. He shuts himself down though while they
Hmm.
fly off. So they fly off to a big fortification. They get in there.
Yeah, bunker of
Terminatrix
some sort.
chases them all the way, and then Arnold follows them and then sacrifices himself too. So they get in, they're sealed off, and then they realize the whole point was that was their surviving where her
Yeah.
dad was, going to where they could survive. And then eventually people started calling in what's going on an hour later when all the nukes started. And that's when John Connor said he was in charge. And then she held his hand
Mhm.
And then and that's the way really the third movie ended. So a lot of chase, a lot of shooting, but a lot of the killing for uh, in the sense of the plots and for what was needed. So it was
Mhm.
you know I thought all three were put together pretty well. So
Her
yes,
her
Val said the bunker
dad,
scene. Hmm.
yeah, her dad, when he realized, okay, you know what? I'm gonna die. I'm gonna save my daughter.
Hmm.
I'm gonna tell her where she needs to go and say, yes, yes, that's the meeting point. You'll
Hmm.
find other people. And they don't. It's just the two of them
Hmm.
until the radio starts. Then they
Right.
realize there are other bunkers that they can talk to.
Hmm. Absolutely. So Daisy Blossom, overall, what did you think with this one, based on at least just from what you remember?
It was, I mean, it's sci-fi and it's in a series when I really liked the first two.
Hmm.
I'm not as big a fan of this one. That doesn't mean I hated it. It
Hmm.
just, I mean, it progressed, it advanced the story, and
Hmm.
that's always very cool. But it wasn't my favorite. It's okay. I know what's about to happen, right?
No, exactly. But you know what I liked with what it did do? It got us to the point. It's kind of like Revenge of the Sith. It
Mhm.
got us to where things needed to be to set the future, and that's what I
Yes.
really liked with it. So
And if they'd gone with that, I think the fourth movie would have been excellent.
I do agree, though, Balzette. You're right. That none of them talk about the nuclear fallout, though.
Yes, that is
That is
correct. They
kind of
don't. And how long everything would be radiated. And they
except the
don't in the first,
cockroaches.
they don't do it well in the first one either.
No, I know none of them. But it's you suspend belief. That's why maybe probably the use of the nukes was not a good thing to do. Maybe have the robots go and wipe out the whole world first. But I guess they needed something to destroy the infrastructure, and what better way
Well, in
than
84,
nukes?
politically, it made sense to be afraid of, like in sci fi, what is it the populace is most afraid of?
Hmm.
Robots, but they were also afraid of, yeah, we're going to get into a nuclear war in real
Hmm.
life. So I
Hmm.
think that's probably where that came from, to play on the fears of the audience.
Right.
And then, yeah, they didn't think about the fallout. You can't be
Yeah. Good night,
populating.
Good night, Atwood. Thanks for hanging out with us and or hanging out during the birthday party.
Yep.
As Val says Cold War. Yep,
Yep.
exactly.
Yes. The Cold War. That's correct. Yeah.
So how would you rank? I guess based on what you said earlier, you'd rank Terminator, then T2, then T3 in that order.
Yes. I go 1, 2, 3. Yes.
All righty. Well, hey. Well, let me before I do this say a little bit more. We got 4 people on the Twitch side. Thank you. Make sure you follow if you haven't. 11 watching on the YouTube side. Smash that like button, people. Let's and sub if you haven't. Let's see. But most of all, thank you for spending this time with us tonight, and with
Yes.
this awesome, great Daisy Blossom that we have here. So you know what? Shoot, you know what I did? Ugh, let me see. Let's talk a little food for a second.
Okay.
Daisy, because I'm going to do this real quick, and I'm sorry that I didn't do this earlier. I'm really mad at myself because I'm not used to doing polls.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah.
I'm
I'm not good at that either.
I forget to. I'm Folks, just do the best you can. Uh, which of the first 3 Terminator movies were your favorite? I'm going to put a poll up real quick, and we're going to have it. Uh,
And
uh,
that's only on the YouTube side,
it's
right?
only on the YouTube side, but you guys on Twitch, put your votes in.
Yeah. Just put it in the chat. So Megatron has actually put it in
Yeah,
the
let's
YouTube
see.
chat, which way he'd do it.
Well, okay, vote in the poll too when we get here a second.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost here. I'm going to be a very brief. I keep forgetting to do these sometimes. So here, which of the first 3 Terminators were your favorite? Terminator, Terminator 2, Terminator 3. So, Atwood, we're only doing the
Can
first
I
3 that we
vote
talked
too?
about tonight. Yeah, you can. Yeah, you can.
Okay. I did.
Yeah. Oh no. I got you now, Atwood. Yeah, no. No 4, 5, and 6. We're only doing the 3 real ones that we think. But yeah, dark
Ye-
fart doesn't count. Think fart. I got you. I love it, Balsette. Thank you. So, folks, vote as quickly as you can. Which of these? How do you see these? I'm going to try to keep it open as long as I can.
And
So,
put the number in if you're over on Twitch.
yeah.
Just put the number of the one you like the best of the first 3.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. I
Because
see.
Twitch doesn't do polls.
Right. Wizbear's saying first Terminator because it's before its time.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay, we got 1 vote for Terminator 1 over on that side. Yeah, obviously you're Terminator also. Ooh, Liam says T2, but it's hard to
Yep.
pick. Wow.
It is. It's hard to pick, but yeah.
Oh, wow. No. I don't believe this. I think you're trolling on that.
That wasn't a choice either. We
I
haven't
know.
talked about that one.
All right. So on the Twitch side, we got 3 votes over there. We got 1 for T1 and 2 for T2.
Yeah.
So
T2 is winning over on YouTube as well.
wow. That's interesting.
Mm-hmm. We don't have any votes for T3 on YouTube. At least not on what I can see.
Wow. Okay. No love for T3.
No.
Oh my goodness. So we still got 7 votes. So go for a few minutes. So,
Mm-hmm.
right. So your orders 1, 2, and 3 in that order.
Yeah.
All right.
I believe
Yeah,
Megatron said 2, 1, 3.
Oh, Bone says T2 also. So it's okay. Never mind. I saw it on there. Okay. So we still have 2 for 2.
2 is winning.
1 on. So we got 3 votes on the Twitch side, 1 for 1 and 2 for 2. That's easy enough.
Yeah. Easy to remember that way.
I like Bowsette. T3 is a 7 of 10 just because of the Terminatrix.
Just because you guys have told me what they actually called her, I guess
I love that name. I am stuck on that now.
That's perfect.
It's not. We don't. T1 and 2 are infinitely better. Okay. Well, let's see. Let's see where we're going. The poll is still at 7 votes. So we got 2. So actually, if you had 3 votes, it'd be 30% Terminator, 70% T2 at this point, based on 10 votes. So we'll see. I'm going to leave it. I'm going to leave it open. Okay, so it looks like a lot of people have voted already.
May not be voting right away. So
yeah. Oh, we got 5 people still over the Twitch side. Wow. Hey, thanks, folks.
Hi, Twitch. That's where I normally am.
Absolutely.
Hello over there.
Well, okay. We know you're 1, 2, 3. I like that. I like numbers in order. 1, 2, 3. All right.
Does that make you happy?
Yes, I like that. Number 1, number 1 is just so good for the reasons I said earlier. It was before its time. It got that. It's just that feeling and creepiness. It just watching the other night was just so awesome.
Yep.
Number 2 was like a lot of show running, shooting, and blowing up stuff, as it was described earlier. 3 was a bit of both. I thought it was cool with the new Terminatrix, the cool weapons, and how they moved on beyond Sarah Connor, who apparently then was raised or rebooted or whatever they did in the new movies, which is why we don't even consider them.
Yeah.
So obviously, the original Terminator is my favorite. Terminator 1 is obviously the favorite for all the reasons I said. Terminator 2 was a darn good movie. It was really, really cool. It had a ride at Universal, and it was like that really helped make it a better thing too, is that you're sitting there, and, you not only watch the movie, but now you're in a ride somewhere, and you take it with you.
And it's all around you. When you're sitting in a movie theater, it's somewhat passive.
Mm-hmm.
When you're sitting when the T2 was there, you're in a theater, but it's so interactive that it feels like, wow, you're in the world.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you really, really, really do. It's you got them coming out, jumping on top of you, jumping down.
Spraying things at you, moving stuff around.
You really are
A
part of the
motorcycle
movie.
when it worked.
Yeah, when it worked.
Our
This-
motorcycle didn't stop, so that's amusing to me.
Oh, it didn't stop? Ours
Not
stopped.
when well, we didn't live like near, we lived close enough you could drive there, but we didn't do it all the time. So maybe it's just a function of my not having seen it quite as many times.
hmm
But yeah, no, the motorcycle worked every time.
Well, let me say this real quick. Bowsette said Tim Miller admitted he was wrong about how the movie would be received by the audience. So that's why she says it doesn't count. And let's
Yeah.
say hello to the great Mark D with a C, who
Hello.
says T3 ain't bad. T2 is a better movie, in his opinion, but it doesn't happen without the brilliance of Terminator.
Correct. Yeah, the
Was-
first one
Yeah.
sets
So-
everything up in whatever world you're in.
Yeah. And like Mark said, T2 delivered the goods at Empire Strikes Back. That's a great parallel, though, because how long we talked about that, how the sequels usually are not as good as the originals.
Mhm.
You know, the one that comes before it. Wasn't the mirror cycle in Florida the screen used one? I'm not sure. That might be true, but I'm not quite sure. Oh, the motorcycle, mirror cycle. I did anyway. Motorcycle. Yeah,
yeah.
the phone. Those phones, I tell you, I happens to me all the time.
And autocorrect is horrible.
I've had to change somebody's name on me, and it's like, oh God, I didn't want to call them that. So
Yeah.
but yeah, I don't know. It's possible it could have been, but yeah, it was very like the movie. So 1 was absolutely awesome. 2 was really cool for so many ways. Had us right. 3 got us to where it needed to be. And I watched all 3 again the last few days, and I watched 3. I like 3 in the movie theater, although it got a lot of hate and not a lot of love and stuff. But I enjoyed it in the movie theater, like the others. And you know, so watching again the other day. So here's what I would say. Do you want the first? Well, you know what the first is last. Do you want to know what the second, what I have is number 2 or number 3 first?
Oh, I know. So ask chat.
Chad, do you want to know which I vote as last or second? Which one do you want to think? And right now the poll is, we've got 9 votes. Let's see.
You have 9 on YouTube, and then you had 3 from Twitch.
3, yeah. So that'd be so it'd be 8 and 4. It's 67%. It'll keep 2-1 is what it is. So 2-1 Terminator 2 over the original Terminator. So let me see. Hello, your old toys. Hey, welcome tonight. All right. Hey, welcome. Say hi, hello to you. I should show you attraction vids if they're still on YouTube. Yeah, maybe so. And you know what? You mentioned that. I'm going to. I've had a theme park. There's 2 streams before, and I've got something coming up next month. So maybe I can do some of those at times. So, but you know, that's definitely some. I try to be careful with what I get into. That either it's copyright music or just a lot of people do that stuff and just kind of try to keep the thing.
Yeah, you don't want to get a copyright.
Look at this. Look at this. Look at what she did.
Mrs.
All right.
I guess it could have been worse. She could have picked one of the other ones that was
I know. All right. So what did we get? I see the missus said last, but does anybody want to know what I voted second or last? If you care, be quick. If not, I'm going with the missus. So, all right. I was checking.
Do what the missus wants.
We'll go with the missus. The missus says, well, I'm going to wait for 1/2 of another second.
Okay.
Make sure we've all gotten the votes here. Looks like we've Bowsette won't last like the missus. So we've got 9 votes. So we got 3 on the so I think it's going to end up 2-1 then. So here's
Did
what
anyone decide that they liked the third one the best? I don't think so.
Nope, nobody decided that one's the best. Actually, it got no votes.
I think it got no votes. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
That's odd, but you know.
Yeah, but you never know. So here we go. Oh, not the second one.
Drum roll, please.
Drum roll, please. We want the last one, right? Is that right?
Yeah, what you liked in third place.
What I liked in third place. My third favorite of all these, and I'm looking for something real quick.
It's looking for a visual chat. I'm sure of it.
I'm trying to do that real quick. I am trying to do this real quick. The third place. The third place. Yeah, it's dangerous when I'm trying to think and talk on the run, but that's a good idea to do this. I wish I had a bigger icon. Anyway, let me present, share screen. We go there. Sorry that it's the small one. Oh yeah, You know what? That's what's iconic. You can play that Terminator music in your head.
Oh yes,
absolutely. Hey, wait,
because
somebody
you can feel it.
Hey,
somebody
did vote for Terminator 3.
Did
All
they?
Right. Yay!
Yay! You got some love.
Yay! Well, guess
Good
what?
for you.
Guess what? First is Terminator. Guess what's third place?
Drum roll.
Terminator 2 is in last place.
Dadman, how could
I
you?
like Terminator 3 second best. Let the riots begin. Let the chaos begin. Just don't unsub or unfollow.
Yeah, please don't unsub or unfollow.
Don't hit the dislike button.
We can all agree to disagree.
Oh my gosh. So whoever voted Terminator 3, you got my love and respect. If you want to admit it, that's awesome.
Well, no, they would have said that Terminator 3 was their first choice.
And yours is exactly. But still, mine is second. But the fact they voted it third, and like Bone said, making a comeback. Mrs. knows me, like the Terminatrix. Yay. No, you're not allowed.
He might have had something to do with it.
No, you're not allowed to. Hey, a chick with a flamethrower like that, who's going to say no? Oh, so
hey, why do you think Aquaman did so well for the opposite view on things?
I know. Hey, you know what? I'm not. You know what? Terminations can blow up the gas stations with me going forward.
That is correct.
Although Bell said, I got to say this: I have not voted. I don't vote in my own polls, so there was something else.
Yeah, well, and I did ask if it was okay for me to vote in it. Yes, I did vote.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes, was Momoa, there. I'm with you.
Momoa there. Yeah.
Yes, yes, the opposite. Yeah. The ladies all wanted to go see Aquaman. The guys wanted to see the Terminatrix.
Yes, exactly. That tight red leather.
Yeah, definitely.
Gosh, that was a hoot. But honestly, why I liked it better.
No, I think you liked the story.
I liked the story better. Mm-hmm. It may not have been the best. I did like that creepy. And like when she jammed her hand through the, when she took the body of the fiance and was in the back of the police car, then jammed it all the way through the guy's chest and drove, and then killed the other guy, and then drove it around and then went to the cemetery. That was just really freaky. I mean, really, really cool feels. It was really quick, really creepy. But it advanced the plot to the day of the Judgment Day of when everything started. And that, I think, to me was the story. Now, the other was a good story coming back for John Connor, but the difference to me that made was, and I think somebody talked about it as a description, Terminator 2 was more of a just a sci-fi and blow stuff up movie versus the sci-fi and horror, or the sci-fi and this dramatic end of the world situation. It was just at the end of the day, hey, we just blew a whole bunch of stuff up. The bad robot died and the good robot sacrificed. If you see what if you understand what I mean with that, is whereas the last one really advanced the plot. We got to see the Terminators at the beginning. We got to see the robots on the road. We got to see sorry, that was not English. We got to see the robots on wheels going around shooting up everything. We got to see the drones flying, blowing stuff up.
The smaller version of them.
Yeah. That was the stuff from the original movie that came back that was really in a different form, early versions, and that really, to me, is what made the difference between the two for me. Was one really advanced it.
13, 12, 11 years, 12 years, something to get advancement in what they could do in the special effects. so they could pull all of those things off and be reasonably believable with them. Yes, that's what I meant. Yes, Momoa.
Yeah. Well, it's
Okay.
stunning. Yeah, stunning. Yeah, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
What? Yeah,
Yes, that's the joke.
You're talking. Yeah. Who? Stunning? I mean, not me. It's got to be stunning. She's talking about what?
Mrs.
That's too funny. I love. Oh my gosh, folks!
With
Wow.
friends like these.
Yeah. Who needs enemas, as we say in Fortnite? So. Oh my gosh! Wow. And we still have 13 wonderful people watching us here at the end of 3 hours.
Yes. Yeah.
And we didn't even hit food tonight, Daisy. But hey.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm so sorry. I
know. It's been great. It's been a blast. It's been a fun, and I look forward to doing more in the future. And we'll talk about what to do next. And
yes.
So Daisy, you want to say a little bit more about yourself, or Liam? Mrs. If you could put Liam's link out there for me too.
So I actually am a co-host on a Twitch stream. So it's Liam Greywolf. And we currently try to stream on Saturdays, but we're going to spin back up when I'm back in town and do it on Thursdays and Saturdays. We are in the Pacific time zone, so it may be a little late for some of the East Coasters. The channel is Liam Greywolf. It's LiamGreywolf. And we play games. We play all sorts of different types of games. Some of them are retro, but the updated ones. I do not usually play the games. I'm usually just the co-host. But we have attempted on a couple of games. So there's one called Animal Royale, which is a two-dimensional type of game. And we've played that so that both of us can play. And I do have a character for Fortnite, but I can't currently play Fortnite. So that's something to look forward to. And then I'll come play with Dadman.
Absolutely. I look forward to that time. And, we've talked about that for quite a while.
Yeah,
so
I'm not there yet.
I know. But
I
there's
can't
progress.
get the character to move.
There's progress and signs that it will happen one day. So
yes, there are.
Yeah.
I paid the money for the skin.
I know. And buddy, Stunning can draw. He's a great artist, though. If you check him out on his channel,
he
does a great
is.
job drawing.
He is a good artist. Yes,
absolutely.
I've seen.
So, but yeah, absolutely great having you with us tonight, Daisy.
Thank you so much for inviting me, Dadman.
I mean, hopefully you had a few laughs.
You're an incredibly nice person. I mean that. Even if you hadn't invited me, I still think that you and the missus are an awesome team, and I greatly appreciate that.
Absolutely. Well, let me wind up with a quick show note. Let's see. I'm back to multitasking because I forgot to do something 2 hours ago. I got so wrapped up having fun that it was I forgot to do something while back. This was fun. Thank you, Balzette. We're looking for stuff, and like I've said I try to do more than just Fortnite.
Yeah,
I love Fortnite. I love that. I love it. But there's also time to do stuff and do some different things, and that's why, like with this, I thought it was a good idea to try to do something like this, and I like having somebody with me. I really do, and it makes a big difference having a friend hang with you and just chilling out and being silly. And
yes,
we'll have to make sure we do one movie and we will somehow incorporate a food thing from whatever movie.
Yes, maybe we could take some dish we saw or something in the background, or even if it's a tie-in. If we go, oh yeah, I know that there was a big campaign at XYZ restaurant for this or something.
Yeah, exactly. We can do something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Right. Tetris effect too. We can try that. So, well, to close up, really don't have. Let's see. Look at the calendar behind me.
Yes. Really, what do you have upcoming?
I have on Friday night. I've got this with my buddy Whoopa Troopa.
Mm-hmm.
Pro-ish football talk, where we're going to talk about more spring football, about the XFL. Hopefully you all can join us and we can talk general football, not just XFL. if you have questions about sports, listen, here's a lot of you guys, especially on the Twitch side and a lot of the gamers, come hang out with us for anything, whether it's
Mm-hmm.
basketball, football. We'll answer your questions. We try to make it fun, kind of like where I try to go over some of the art streams and learn some new things, appreciate things that are not, things that I normally would have. And that's been one of the great things with YouTube and Twitch. I mean, the artist like stunning, coming across a guy like him and the amazing artwork he does, or like last week you mentioned the interview with Raquel, and please go check out her book, Mrs. If you have that link, if you could throw that out there for me. But basically,
Yes.
That interview, go back and watch that one last week. That was just amazing, and we talked about writing and science fiction and all that. It's just a lot of stuff. Even last year with the college footballs, go watch some of those old shows, because don't worry about the stats and the picking. Listen to the guests and what they have to say. And that's what I try to do, is let's have fun here. Let's be a place to have fun, laughs, get away from our problems for a while, and just come here and hang out and just do stuff. That's why in Fortnite I spend more of my time now blowing up gas stations and just doing silly stuff, because we win our good bits, but it's just
You're getting really good at blowing up the gas station and having the car or the truck what's still on fire, and you drive it away, or you roll the cars.
You know what I did the other night that I need to clip, that I've got that I need to clip?
You parked it somewhere interesting, I heard.
Well, did you
I
see
didn't see it.
did you see the short that I tweeted out a while back where I ended up parking it in and out of the second floor of a gas station? The
I
front
did
wheels
not
were
see that
in.
one.
Well, it's out there on Twitter. The front wheels are in the second floor. The back wheels are hanging out of the second floor.
Wow.
The other night, though, I actually parked the whole sucker on the complete second floor, not the roof, not out.
Not the roof.
It fit right in that second floor of that gas station. So
See, I've seen you park it on the roof. I saw that one live.
I've jumped a
That is
building before, but
cool.
so there are all kinds of good things. So, but check out all of our stuff. Join us Friday night. We love having you on the chat. Even if you'll come in, make fun of football a little bit and good humor and fun, we're up for it. We just like having to chat and join us. Whoopa works real hard with these stats and these graphics and
The
and all
graphics
that.
are really good. Whoopa is really good with the
Absolutely.
graphics.
I'm very blessed to have him as a co-host, especially his desire to take care of those things too. Also, let me go. We also do, Whoop and I do a Monday Madness show. Well, what that is about the current year's men's NCAA college basketball tournament, and we have that show at 7:00 on Monday night. So waiting for that to pull up, and
4:00 on the West Coast.
Yes,
for those of us in the
Pacific
time zone.
And see, this one's what the missus made. Missus made him a nice little Baylor colored Whoopa uniform, and I got a Florida Gator basketball. So join us on Monday for that at 7 p.m. There will be some other odd and end gaming streams off and on. I will be Fortnite. I want to get back to playing some of the other ones, games like Ticket to Ride, and some of the others that may not be, a little bit Fortnite, a little bit different.
You do the Axis and Allies game is very cool to watch.
And we've had quite a bit of turnout. Not only go look it back. Another thing I do, show and tell with Dadman. We did that game. I previewed that game and what the board games, and even the online game. We had great turnouts for the game with me and Rambling Canuck playing. And I got one more show to pitch for right now, and because this is very important. This one comes up next Wednesday night, the 29th. One of the other features that we do here is Mrs. is on the air with me at what we call Detour with the Dadmans, where we go to various places and share our pictures and stories from it. This month, it'll be Fort Pickens, which is a fort located in Pensacola Bay, across from Pensacola, Florida. It has quite a history. There was actually a battle fought on the island. One battle fought on the island. This fort has a distinction, a special distinction. There was only one of 4 Union forts that did not fall into Confederate hands in the Civil War. So come learn more about it. See the pictures and the history of this fort. Very cool. And we talk some about the battle. We also did a and I won't belabor the point, but come join us for that on the 29th. But we this series we visited Palaca, Florida, did some things, showed a 1 pound hamburger. We showed a Civil War battle map of a jigsaw puzzle that was a map of the U.S. and highlighted battles all throughout it. We did a detour show on that, and we found out, Daisy, all
Sorry,
those
I
places.
was looking at chat. I'm sorry.
Oh, no problem. No, you're good.
Someone
Hey.
from our Twitch stream just entered your chat.
Ness.
Yep.
See Ness. Hey, Ness. Welcome.
Ness wrote, if you ever see our Twitch stream, we have an opening 2 minutes, and the song for that Ness wrote for us and performed it.
That's awesome. I heard about it, but didn't they try to claim it or something?
Twitch got upset. So if you watch it live, you can see it, and sometimes if you watch the replay VOD, you can't hear it.
But you can't.
We're working through it.
Okay.
Yes, we're working through it. Twitch.
I'm sorry.
They can all be. Yeah, they can all be. Sometimes they get a bee in their bonnet about the wrong thing.
That's crazy. So, man, I hate it. That's why sometimes I've just avoided things like that, just to avoid. So, and if you're on the YouTube side, make sure you subscribe if you haven't already. But
yes,
hit that like button. So, I know Ness, you do a lot of stuff on the Twitch side too. So,
yes, Ness is also a streamer on the Twitch side.
Yeah,
yes.
Absolutely. But hey, Ness is a good, I think, friend of the family too, and appreciate all the support. But what I was going to say about that Civil War battle map, though, when we got done after the show, things kept dawning on me. When the missus and I talked about, there were at least 12 battlefields that we had left off that show that we had visited. So that was just amazing to see that, looking back at it. So that hey, guess what? Come on, one more like on the YouTube side. We got 19 likes, but Daisy, we've got 3 more subs tonight. Yay.
Excellent. Thank you,
2
guys.
follows. So, but hey, do it quickly because I am going to finally be quiet because I know Daisy's had a long day, a lot of travel and everything. And then, yes, hello, everybody. Hope you're doing well. I'm doing pretty good. Daisy, how are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good.
Need supper soon, though.
I need to go eat.
Yes. But again, thank you, Daisy, for your time. Thank you for a great 3+ hours. Look forward to talking to you again and doing more. And everybody, make sure you go check out everything here. Check out Liam's Twitch. Check out Stunning and Brave Megatron on YouTube. But hey, most of all, thank you. Come back to all future streams and hopefully see you Friday night if we don't do something sooner. And then the best place to keep up with me is, and I don't have the screen up, but I'll just say it. The best place to keep up with me about going live or other events is on Twitter at Dadman Walking 55. So whether it's Twitter, whether it's Twitch or YouTube, just look for Dadman Walking 55, and that's where you can find us. So on that note, Daisy, thank you.
Thank you.
Chat, thank you. Mrs., thank you for the IT help earlier tonight. Yes, we couldn't have done this without you. Correct. And everybody, absolutely. Everybody, love you all. Bye-bye and have a great night, everybody. Bye.
Bye.